We're very good at promoting the reactive side of it compared to getting on the front foot and being proactive.
This is a guy who was larger than life for so many of us at the club. He was our captain, but he was more than a captain. We just saw a tower of strength.
He challenged you, he put an arm around you when you needed one. It shouldn't have taken what happened to Danny for us to start talking and starting conversations like that. Just got to keep getting on the front foot.
No matter how happy, confident, put together, successful you may think your mates are, there could be something going on that you don't know about behind closed doors, because that was certainly what was happening at our house. I wake up every morning and I'm so passionate and excited to get to work, to be able to help steer his vision here at the centre.
There wouldn't be anyone that would not know someone that has not been affected in some way through mental health.
That's my mission in life. I want to make a change, so I don't see others go through what I've done.
Tonight, the AFL community unites for Spud's game presented by AIA. And has been the tradition for the last 4 years. We'll delay the bounce of the match by 2 minutes to put mental health on the big stage. Please welcome Pete Murray for a very special performance.
And I saw it coming. We saw emptiness and tragedy. And I felt like running so far away, but I knew I had to stay. And I know when I'm older, I look back and I still feel the pain. I know I'll be stronger, and I know I'll be fine for the rest of my days. I've seen better days. My face and my hands, down on my knees, and I pray to God, hope He sees me through to the end. I've seen better days. My face and my hands, down on my knees, and I pray to God, hope He sees me through to the end.
Footy has always had the ability to bring people together. That's how most of us knew Spud. What a ripper he was. But right now isn't about football, it's about mental health. 2 in 5 of us will experience mental ill health in our lifetime, and that's simply too many. And that's what the Danny Frawley Centre is trying to change, but they need your help. Have a look around you. 2 in 5. If you can, make a donation. Spud'd love that, and so would those who it helps. So if you're battling, talk. If you think someone's battling, ask the questions. Unite, honour Spud's legacy, and donate. Spud, we love you.
Some powerful scenes there at the MCG as we pause and remember Spud Frawley, and he'd be so proud of the work that the Danny Frawley Centre is doing, and this big match that's becoming quite the marquee fixture, the 4th annual Spuds game between Collingwood and St Kilda tonight, and it looks like a fairly big crowd in the house.
Yeah, well, it's going to be St Kilda's biggest home and away game for the year, and in fact, the talk that they were trying to, because it is St Kilda's home game, this could potentially be their biggest home game crowd for a home and away match, if that makes sense. They haven't played, I don't think, in front of a crowd bigger than 77,000, 78,000 for a home game, and they're hoping potentially to try and eclipse that tonight, which would be pretty significant in 150 years of playing in the competition.
Just about every team sets their record against Collingwood. They
yeah, well, that's exactly right.
That helps. That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
If you're going to grow it, you've got to win it. The Saints have got to own tonight. They've got to make sure that they do the right thing by their fans coming along tonight. Grow this product. Make it, if you want to make it the biggest attendance for the Saints, get the job done against the Pies.
All right, we prepare for the first bounce at the MCG. It is Collingwood and St Kilda Spuds match. You're watching Thursday Night Footy right here on Fox.
Cameron in the middle. Nick Dacos, hand pass taken by Marshall, off to Steele. Away to Windhager, wearing that famous number 2. Penetrating kick, oh yes. Is that a sign of things to come for Moore tonight as he takes a commanding mark?
Well, it was beautiful protection from Jeremy Howe to allow him to do that. That is for sure. Here's McCreary. Side bottom, a little bit of a fumble. Brad Hill pounces. Battle to keep it alive. Plainer. This is off the handball out wide to Nick Dacos. His second touch. Sends it Cox bound. Hands on it, couldn't reel it in. Goes to ground, realised he didn't have a lot of support around him, and he'll be penalised as a result here.
Really nice confident start from Darcy Moore, being questioned and challenged by the coach to get back, take control.
Oh, Cordy, a miscue, didn't time it into the middle. Lipinski intercepts. Mychek screams for it. He gives the hand pass off to Nick Dacos, and he kicks to Elliott on the tumble.
Just immediate with me, son. Thanks, mate.
I think we're going to see a lot of these entries tonight where they're hitting up the shorts and just getting him inside 50 with this tall defence of the Saints.
Why, Joel? Why do you think that?
Well, Rowan Marshall's going to play a big role. He usually plays back behind the ball. St Kilda do get a lot of numbers back there.
Jamie Elliott, 2 behinds against the Giants, 2 goals straight against Sydney, coming off a career best 39 goals last season. A look of focus. And a beautiful finish for the opening goal for the Pies. Jamie Elliott kicks the first. Just the tonic for Collingwood. Pressure's been on all week after the 0-2 start to the season. A couple of little moments early. The Darcy Moore mark back with the flight. And the first goal to one of their key small forwards.
Well, it was a beautiful kick inside forward 50 on the back of a horrible turnover by the Saints. But I love the fact that it was composed. They waited to get the ball in a good kicker's hand in Nick Dacos. And then that space, as you touched on, Joel. Don't worry about the back space. The Saints will be back shoulder. Someone hitting up at the kicker. And a perfect start for the Pies.
Back in the middle, Marshall. Cameron there, pounces on him. A little bit suspect, that mark on Jamie Elliott, I think. When you look at him, the slow-mo replay.
Holding.
Free
St.
kick will go
Kilda.
Marshall's way here. Got one high.
Stand us, play on.
Sends it very, very deep. King's the intended target. Moore the assist. Out the back door. Higgins is the only one there. Read it beautifully then, Higgins.
Well, there was no mucking around from Rowan Marshall in the middle. Got it in deep forward, 25 metres out, and Jack Higgins doing what he does well. Getting to the bottom of the pack and finishing with a goal. BT, you wanted a quick look at this one?
Yep, let's have a look at it. And that's hit the ground, Joel. So Collingwood a little lucky early on. You do agree?
You've always got to be a little bit lucky in this game.
Goes through Moore this time. King couldn't get a handle on it. They pile in Moore and Owens.
So Moore's gone to Tim Membry too. So Tim Membry's one that hits up. He's got to be careful that he doesn't leave Darcy back there by himself.
Marshall out of the ruck, jams it on the left boot towards the teeth of goal. Frampton pushes King into the ball. Dacos comes to meet him, shoots the hand pass back. Steele, Henry gets away from De Goey. Curling kick, Windhager flies. Cameron in front. Frampton under pressure. Got it out to Howe. He's got one arm held. Somehow got boot to ball and cleared the centre half back in De Goey.
He wants to go immediately, does. Realising side bottom had space.
Stand.
Looking crisp early, the Pies here.
Stand.
Nick Dacos with his fourth touch.
Play on.
Wanting to bring it back into the corridor early here. High ball, plenty of flyers, no winner. Windhager out the side there was able to clear the ball, but straight down the throat of Maynard, who centres immediately to Moore. Moore's in a really good position here. He's got a 180 degree of options. Darcy Moore from just forward of centre. Meyer checked the target. Cox there as well at the back. Couldn't hold on. Battle. Battle again. Stripped by Elliott. Smother beautiful by Cordy.
No surprise at all. 36 players in the back half of the ground there.
Becomes a really poor entry in the end, though. Once Darcy Moore got it through the corridor, you would have liked to seen him roll and keep that pace on the ball, try and challenge that St Kilda defence out this open side.
Sinclair, Wanganeen-Milera, now Wood and Marshall coming up for his 5th possession early on. Around the outer wing he goes, coming late. Membry affects the spoil, and a boundary throw-in. Not a bad result for Howe in the end.
Marshall, the only player on the ground with any sort of clearances. He's got 4 of them, so don't worry about the midfield. The big fella's doing it all himself.
Now he's side by side with Cameron. Contesting the throw-in. Cameron knocks it down. Picked up by De Goey, who Aaron Phillips said had the look of a killer in his eyes. Off the boot of Wood, touch ball. Taken by Windhager through the traffic loss possession throw.
Advantage paid. Maynard. Meyer check, a little heavy for him. Wilkie. A chance to really rip it and go here, the Saints. Can Collingwood get back in defence and stop it? Battle to the middle, risky kick, but worth taking. Wanganeen-Milera couldn't make it work. Bobby Hill over the top, they go forward and deep. Henry was there. Pendlebury cool to Dacos likewise. Frampton back in the side for the Pies. Dacos gets them out of trouble.
Mason Cox. Happy to survey his options. Kicks to the wing. Out comes Mychek. Pushed under the ball by Wilkie.
Holding, Collingwood. Holding. Stay out.
Bobby Hill screaming for it in the left forward pocket. He's ignored for the moment. Mychek's eyes are darting around the place. He will go to the pocket in the end. Cameron off hands, front and centre Rove. Elliott looking dangerous again. Out comes Bradley Hill. A hand pass along the ground out in front of Sinclair. You should get away with that. And a boundary throw in.
If the first 5 minutes are anything to go off, expect this game to be played helter-skelter. Both sides on offence, getting it at half-back, really trying to slingshot, trying to go back at an unset defence.
There is Marshall. Front position. Ended up trying to backheel it. Josh Dacos immediately tackled. Able to get up and make something out of it. Battle's got a difficult bounce to control. Plenty of St Kilda jumpers. Sinclair back into the side. They welcome his return, that's for sure. The pressure a lot though. Lipinski picks up. Tried to shape for the right foot slider, but Bobby Hill drops the easiest of marks. Steele confronts him. Just a little nervy.
Geez, it nearly worked out perfectly there for Bobby Hill. He found himself in some space in the forward pocket and would usually swallow those ones.
Not sure if it's the sleepless nights. Malachi brought into the world. Brother for Bobby Jr. Congratulations. Steele around the corner out of defence. Leading up to Mark though and taking it on his chest. Frampton.
Outside 5.
There have been few better 2-possession games. And Frampton's performance in the grand final, quelling Harris Andrews. Now he goes to full forward. Out they come. In front court, he couldn't take it. A chance for Lipinski again. A banana. A finish through the traffic. Superb. So the Pies with their second goal. Lipinski gets his first. And it's started in a fashion that suggests this will be a good battle tonight between two sides looking for their first wins this season.
Daisy, we like what we're seeing from the Pies here. Frampton takes the mark. Repeat entries is what the Pies are getting, but they're just evening the numbers up in the forward line.
This is what we haven't seen over the past 2 weeks, especially that mark from Frampton coming all the way up with his direct opponent in King, getting it back in. It's not pretty, it's a scrap. The top of the goal square, get a contest, get a goal.
Plenty of enthusiasm being generated by the Pies at the moment. De Goey out of the middle. Good spoil by the Saints. Marshall. A bit of a smother on that ball. Mitchell back into the side for the Pies. De Goey again. Pendlebury has great vision. Just knows the kick on the way. Got in the way of each other. Schultz couldn't hang on. Wilkie to Marshall, who's everywhere at the moment, wins the free. Advantage is paid to Steele.
Steele explores the outer side. Sharman up in front. Good hands. Howe was right there with him.
2 metres. 2 metres. Stand.
Membry and King stand at the edge of the 50. King rises and pulls it in. A commanding mark.
1 metre, mate.
And he points to the major opening. He's taking a shot.
All started at half-back with the Pies getting in each other's way, but this is a towering mark. Great bodywork. This is the evolution of this guy, working off his opponent, taking it at the highest point.
Starts it well left. Won't have the journey. It'll be a mark to Cameron in defence for the Pies.
Outside 5 now, outside 5.
Didn't strike it as he would have wanted to there, Max King, I reckon. Got it off the instep a little. Cost him a bit of distance. Down the line here is Jeremy Howe. McInnes into the Collingwood lineup. Out the side was Hill. Neat ball to Elliott. Runs on Hill. Myercheck's a 1-on-2 there, so they're not going to that contest.
Stand.
Waynor. And something to come from the square. Goes short to side bottom.
I think we'll see this a lot tonight, BT, where they're just going to be patient with the ball, use the build-up, go in when they're ready to go in.
Stand, Jack.
Short ball to Pendlebury. He and Pendlebury have played 289 games together. Closing in on the record. Tell you more about that later. Out the back it comes. Around the corner, McInnes. It is that kicks the goal. Into the side he comes. Has an impact immediately. That'll excite his teammates. And McInnes able to kick Collingwood's third goal here at the MCG.
You had the 3 dot points before the game there, Sal. One of them was the speed in which they went forward.
Yeah, and we saw it just then. Jamie Elliott was the last person in the line that took the mark, took it back inside, waited for his midfield and the rest of the backs to catch up to the play, and as we said, took it in on their own terms.
289th game, by the way, with Sidebottom and Pendlebury ties Bartlett and Burke, that great Richmond combination.
Wow, some names there, BT. Out of the middle, a free kick paid to St Kilda, and Burns plays onto advantage, but Frampton intercepts.
The all-time being McLeod and Edwards, 307 games together they played. There's Chris. Started the night on the bench, a little surprisingly perhaps. Such an important player for the mark-off. Has just been a delight to watch for the Magpies. Crisp demanding the ball short, and demanded it so ferociously that he received it. Cox saying, I want it down the line, and that's where it's going to come from, Crisp, as they're hemmed in here a little. So a little bit of what we saw last week. Sidebottom's front and centre was perfection. Kick to McInnes, fought hard. Wilkie did a little better. Hill was able to tidy up. Owens involved. Some neat little handballs, but they didn't go anywhere. Pendlebury ducked under the tackle and therefore wasn't paid the free. Probably a good decision in the end.
Yeah, good officiating. That's the one that they've brought in. The arm goes up and you draw the contact, will be play on.
I made a career out of that, Daisy.
Now he's retired, he's prepared to admit it. Filippo dragged off it. A bit of a mess. umpire might need to sort this out.
Was it just a natural thing, Joel, or was it something you thought about?
No, I definitely did think about it. It was obviously the rule wasn't in place then when I was able to do it, but it got a hold of me by the end.
The law caught up with you, Joel. Happens to everyone. Wanganeen-Milera tackled by Crisp strongly. Crisp is playing his 217th consecutive match, so the great Jim Stein's 244, of course. It's getting closer, inching closer. Ross's kick smothered. Pendlebury couldn't get a handle on it. And Steele, he is surrounded.
Both sides sending extras up into the contest, so happy to keep it in there, happy to fight on, punch on inside there. Expect a lot of these repeat stoppages.
Just getting some news through on you, Joel, that just under 10% of your disposals were from free kicks. Happened a lot. Quaynor through the middle of the ground. Higgins.
Hard to believe, BT.
Partial smother out wide. Josh Dacos. Good-looking ball. Present up there, Myercheck. Does he handle it before the boundary? The boundary umpire says no. Field umpire agrees with the boundary umpire. I think the right decision made in the end.
What is 10% of 39 a week, Joel?
Not enough to worry about. Plenty of possessions there to share around. Here's Cox. Doing the ruck work with Owens. With Dacos, Burns off the knee. Sharman back to Burns, lightning handball. Trying to get Steele going. Mitchell just played it in front, waited for a few more to arrive. Owens still very much in the hunt. Cox there as well. This passage of play going nowhere.
So the extra numbers in and around the ball, both sides worried about their ability to exit stoppage cleanly and get it out through that open side, trying to close it down, keep that pressure and heat on the ball.
Cox has pushed Owens in the face, and I'm not sure he was totally aware that there was a player of that height in ruck against him. Owens to half forward. King again presents in the pack. Socked by Frampton. That worked out well. Lipinski marks. And they have options. On the Shane Warne stand wing. Josh Dacos. To Cameron. Two Saints skittled in all of that. Lipinski to Mitchell. Mitchell the float up. Turns it over. And Wilson in his second game now. They've stopped play because there is concern for Mason Wood behind the play. He was the collateral damage in that marking contest, and there is concern for him here, and he's in good hands.
Yeah, he's not. There is some concern at the moment, so
he's come down very heavily, BT, in that marking contest, and understandably, the umpires have called a halt to play.
A little bit of a clash of heads in the air, we believe. He looked like he was probably out cold by the time he'd hit the deck. Maybe the collision with the turf as well.
Zach Jones is the sub for St Kilda, turning to St Kilda lineup tonight, and looks like he's going to be on imminently. The stretcher's coming out.
Here's one thing Mason Wood has improved over the last couple of years, his ability not just to get the ball on the outside, but his want to go back and put himself in the position that he has there.
How hard is that when it's perhaps wasn't his natural game, and it was the thing that was missing that, as you say, he implemented into his game recently?
And like everything, if that isn't your go, you have to work on that, whether it be throughout the week watching tape to find yourself in a position. But at the end of the day, it's a mindset to flick a switch to go, right, if I have to go and my team demands that of me and we demand it of each other, at that point in time, it's my turn. Put your hand up and do it. And he's done this many times over the past couple of seasons.
Joel, you've been in this scenario before. What does a leader do in this situation where you know there's going to be a delay to the game? The huddle comes together. What are the conversations taking place?
Yeah, I mean, it's take a deep breath first, Al. I mean, it's been a pretty hot start, but there's a little bit of concern, obviously, that you're going to be down without a player for the rest of the game. But it's about resetting now. It's been a great start by both sides, I believe. Collingwood probably getting a few more marks. You know, they've been closer to their opponents. Their tackle's already up on that what they were last week. They only had 51 last week, so they'd be happy with that. But St Kilda will be talking about how can we win the ball back. Been good around stoppages, mainly off the work of Rowan Marshall. Can they share it around a little bit more before they get into their forward line? Because it's been Collingwood that have been building it up and having that patience with the ball.
Their pressure's been awesome in the start of this one, the Pies. They're leading the tackle count 8-12. And their kicking efficiency, this is the pressure they're putting on the Saints. They're going at 76% are the Pies, whereas the Saints going at 58%. So the Pies well above league average, the Saints below it, all down to that pressure in and around the contest.
So Mason Wood will come from the ground while that's happening. Nick Dacos has had a great start. Geez, 50 games. Has anyone had a better 50 games in the first 50 games in their career? It'd be hard to think of anyone, would it not?
Well, there is a man next to me who I think lost 3 games in his first 50 and was also a rising star and won a premiership.
I don't think I did what he did in saying that, Daisy. I was saying he'd behind a lot of good players, but Chris Judd, you know, we would have to find out. We'll have to get the truck, Josh Kay, to go to work here, but Nick's has been something else, really.
Of course, Hayden Bunton with 2 Brownlow medals inside 35 games, I think, and John Coleman with consecutive tons in his first 2 years, kicking some 262 goals. And then, of course, you could throw in Peter Hudson as well, who averaged almost 6 goals a game for his first 50 games. So you're forgetting about those guys, Dave?
Yes, well, I obviously wasn't born for half of those, BT, but also I can't believe how modest Joel became when the microphone was put in front of him. We're discussing this off air, and he said, hey, remember, it was 3 losses, a premiership, a rising star.
No.
But it has been a brilliant start, and even the 2 losses so far this year for the Pies. He's had 34 and 37 disposals, kicked a goal in each of those.
By the way, I think it was 4 losses for Joel in those games, so he's trying to exaggerate his winning stats there as well. But
I thought I had you guys on my side, but obviously not.
Look, this is shocking what we're seeing here at the moment with Mason Wood. He has been knocked out and he's getting the best of care out there at the moment from the St Kilda medicos.
And they are so good, BT, in saying that, you know, they get put under a lot of pressure with all the scat testing and whatnot these days. But the clubs have the best of the best, the doctors, and we wish Mason all the best. But it's the people around him too, his family, that are probably here sitting in the crowd tonight. There'll be a player development officer that's probably reaching out to them. They might be down there waiting in the rooms already.
How do you feel about, Daisy, the broader picture of concussions and you know, it is such a big story in our game today, and it is a collision game. The AFL have done, I think, all they can in changing rules over a long period of time now and trying to make it safer. But in the end, you can't stop every collision.
No, you can't. That's the understanding of the players when they do go out there, that there are rules now in place to limit and try and stymie, I guess, the impact and the concussions and the big hits that we see, like we saw in the pre-season with a lengthy ban given for a head-high hit. This is, of course, not great to see when you see a man go down like this. But the evolution of what the AFL are doing and trying to look after players to the best of their ability is great.
And Mason Wood, who's become a fine wingman at St Kilda, he is getting a warm round of applause from those who are here. It's a big crowd at the MCG, the St Kilda home match, Spud's game, of course. And an important clash between these two sides, with the Saints going down to Geelong last week by 8 points and the Magpies having lost their opening 2 encounters. From the perspective of the side, St Kilda now replacing Mason Wood with Zach Jones, it's not a like-for-like necessarily. What sort of challenges does it pose for a coach when you have a scenario like this so early in the game?
Well, I mean, they've got so many of those hybrid types that they're able to flick the switch on whatever position that they may need to go. We may see Zach Jones go into the middle of the ground. It just means a Philippou, maybe a Windhager, they might go into that position that's running up and down the wing a little bit more.
Players are taking their positions again. Robbie Hill's having a good old chat with umpire Nick Foote. So they've found something to occupy themselves just while this takes place. And you can see the level of care for Mason Wood on the stretcher. And they'll slowly take him off the ground before we get back underway. So significant delay at the MCG. That one is holding up the game very much for the right reasons.
Just wanted to ask Aaron about, I know you really like the way Scott Pendlebury plays, Aaron, and you were talking before the game today about how he finds space and why he has time. What are your thoughts on Pendlebury, seeing him up close here tonight?
I think it's that ex-basketball background, BT. I think they're elite at that. Not to be biased.
Yeah, well, it's all about decision-making, isn't it? Seeing seeing out the back of your head in that game, as you'd know.
He just makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
He does. The time and precision and lack of panic that he has in his game is extraordinary.
His ability to sell cues to defenders. He almost holds the ball out, and as he's looking and expecting the defender to react to that, he's thinking a couple of steps ahead. His decision-making, skill execution too. It's one thing to make a good decision, but his ability, left hand, right hand, and again, back to that basketball, double hand dribbling. No doubt a reason why he's been so good for so long.
Outside 5.
Notice the Collingwood fans standing up there, BT, as well, to acknowledge Mason Wood, which is a lovely aspect of our game, as much as it's fiercely contested on the ground, and the fans are right behind their team when someone is seriously hurt. Widespread concern from everyone. So we're back underway with Wilkie at left half back for the Saints. Goes to the wing to a pack of 6 more. Nudged under it by Philippe legally. Through Frampton, Markov and side bottom. Around the corner he goes. Battle there. Can't shake McCreary. That could be trouble. Holding the ball.
Fantastic tackle. Was out of position early. Never gave up on the play. And then executed. Wins himself a free kick. Tackle count there. Pies +4.
Stagnant forward end at the moment for the Saints, or inside 50 anyway. Eventually some movement, but nothing that really McCreary liked. In the end, it was just a general bomb.
Yep, thank you.
So Wilkie here.
Outside 5.
To Sinclair. Heard Ross Lyon say before the game that he's probably our best player. Down the line here.
Front on contact, St Kilda, play on.
Free kick paid to Henry.
Short to Windhager. And Sinclair running through the corridor, but can't find an avenue to him. He goes longer half forward in the Membry direction. Maynard closes and affects the spoil but chopped the arms.
Play on.
Membry quick to move it. Holding on shortly. Marshall must get the free kick. Mason Cox had him wrapped up Greco-Roman style.
Billy, Max. Billy, move out.
And we spoke about this early before the game, but Rowan Marshall went and manned up Mason Cox. It allows this one-on-one matchup that King had with Frampton.
So King will get the free kick. He could have made a case for anyone in all of that. He's had one long-range look so far. Can he get something started tonight? Nice kick. Right through the middle. St Kilda back within 7 points after the lengthy delay with Mason Wood taken off the field. So King gets his first. An injury interrupted year last year. Shoulder heavily strapped tonight. A full year out of him and a productive one, and that will speak volumes for St Kilda's chances of seeing September.
Good decision to get it in long and deep once that free kick was awarded on the wing. Really good pickup, as you said, Joel, there. Locking down the bigger Mason Cox, who was trying to provide some aerial protection as Darcy Moore had left his man and come up. And there's another nice confidence booster. The big mark, the shank earlier, 2-4 last week. Just a nice steadier for Max King.
Indeed it was. Windhager. Dynamite. Henry inside 50. Exploring at the punt road end. 6 minutes in the quarter remaining.
Jeremy Howe to bring the ball back in for the Pies.
Play on.
Told to move it. Myercheck, Marshall and Mason Cox roved by Nick Dacos. Hand pass to Elliott, away to Mitchell, under pressure, did well. Got it to Crisp, he's in a big bind. He took contact and worked his way through to Mitchell. Mitchell to half forward, McCreary, Bonner. And pass came out from Marshall to Battle. Now the Saints turn. Wilson involved. Now tackling Nick Dacos, who'd won it back to Cox. A floater hung in the air. Steele tapped it away from side bottom. Marshall. Moore had his name written all over it.
She's big. Darcy Moore, Frampton and Maynard. Maynard and Josh Dacos combined. Schultz led up, ignored that, went backwards and now kicked over his head. And McInnes and Schultz not happy with the way that worked out at all.
Collingwood dominating the hit-outs 10-1, but interesting enough out of that, St Kilda winning the clearances by 6. So the mid's getting to work. The Pies need to get better bang for buck from that dominance in the air.
No ruckman made contact and eventually Marshall got it off the ground. Crisp soccer, Brad Hill cut it off. Crisp did well to follow up here. And here Collingwood jumpers, side bottom, almost running over the top of his teammate. Out to King. The overlap from Higgins. Hill is a little bit wider. He's good by foot. He's got great precision. And there's a good example to Henry.
Clever. There was nothing up in front for him. He came back inside and found Liam Henry just trekking to the middle of the ground.
Gives it off to Wanganeen-Milera.
You can't linger behind. You've got to move out of the protected area.
It will come back, but there's one for your notes. Wanganeen-Milera put that through half post high from 52. It's as good a strike as you're likely to see.
So they should learn from that, the Pies, and go, well, he's their beyond 50 striker. That's going to queue up behind every opportunity. So Liam Henry, as the sub now comes on, Zach Jones for the Saints. Directly in front of the punt road end here. Just inside the 50, distance okay, accuracy superb. Saints looking good, draw level. So Henry getting the congratulations of all at his new club. Ties up the scores.
Just the Collingwood boys and hung around Liam Henry here. Brad Hill gets on the end of this, brings it back into the middle, but we're quickly finding out that Liam Henry is a fan favourite of the St Kilda Footy Club. He kicked a miraculous goal in their community series game before leading into the season.
Block, Collingwood.
Free kick going Cameron's way in the middle. Uses Nick Dacos. Goes in the Elliott direction. Wanganeen-Milera there with him. He almost had that. Wanganeen-Milera comes away with a 20-metre hand pass to Henry. They're taking the game on the Saints. Wanganeen-Milera hits Owens. More overlap run. Wanganeen-Milera gets in a bind. He gives back to Owens. Back to Burns. Burns' kick is wide of the mark. Marshall and Cameron. Cameron there first. Caught by Marshall by the jumper. Back to Frampton. Frampton turns it over to the wing. Burns takes the mark.
Wasn't a great kick, not great composure by Frampton. Burns. Out wide, here's King, long way from home, 70 metres out. Thought about the little one on the boundary. Straightens up for something more effective down the middle. Moore has so far in this quarter been very strong in the air. His handball not so good. Mopped up by Brad Hill. Step around the body. St Kilda have got 3 in a row. Saints in front for the first time. Trailed by 13 just a couple of minutes ago. 6-point leaders.
Well, it's almost been like a timeout for the Saints with the long delay with Mason Wood leaving the ground. Darcy Moore started well. He's come across a couple of times in that intercepting mark, but just this part here, you need to be better there on your back line, especially if you are the captain. Find a kick, keep the composed possession.
Yeah, and the impressive thing was Brad Hill, the attention to detail to stay with the play.
Steele to Jones. Jones pushed off it by De Goey. He's caught by Sinclair. Collingwood being squarely challenged again. Cameron down, socket by De Goey. Underneath it, Schultz. Lipinski looped it out to McCreery. Good link up. Maynard to the pockets. Able to mark it, Wilkie. Quick hands. McInnes to Maynard. Great smother by Sharman coming across his bootlaces. There's a bit about St Kilda.
Yeah, the time he took to straighten up on his left there. Didn't want to go with the right. Just cost him probably the opportunity to get it away. Deep in the Collingwood forward line, Cameron, McCreery. Hill was on the run. Free kick will go St Kilda's way. Sharman. St Kilda in front for the first time in the game. Collingwood led by 13 points at the 12-minute mark. Aerial battle, Frampton. Maynard out the back to Crisp. Also a left footer. Bit of an indiscriminate ball to Nick Dacos. Well done by Windhager. Zach Jones, the sub, who's been activated. Owens ran into the brick wall but escaped. Went long. Look at this for the Saints. They're out everywhere. King, can he make it work? The pressure from side bottom. King around the corner. Frampton free kick. Free kick. Probably unnecessary. He had it covered. And Jack Higgins will line up from point-blank range. 4 in a row on offer for the Saints.
And those mistakes can just happen when you're scrambling. Billy Frampton obviously didn't know where the ball was.
Higgins makes it 4 in a row. Saints by 2 goals. Higgins has a couple.
But it's never going to happen. It's never going to help when you just run into someone front on, especially right in front of goal too.
Like almost if he just got his body in the way of the ball, he didn't need to make contact.
Well, the concern from the Pies here, as soon as the turnover occurs, look at the numbers from the Saints running into screen. 3v2, 4v2, they were the ones who were scrambling quicker. The Pies trying their best to get back, but a turnover in the middle of the ground, an errant handball to Nick Dacos. They couldn't clean it up, and the response from the Saints, the quick thinking to get out the back, first rate.
De Goey pressured off it by Steele, socket by Rowan Marshall. Moore coming the other way. De Goey tapped it though to Membry. Membry wheels, kick knocked down. Crisp with the hand to it, side bottom with a problem. Got it out the back to Cameron, to the wing. Good use of the body. Schultz marks, wheels and goes, kicks it too far. McInnes no chance. Wilkie intercepts on the half-back flank. Since the Wood injury in that part of the ground, St Kilda has kicked 4 goals, 1-0, BT.
Been dynamite. Just under a minute to go in the quarter here. Quarter extended out to 38 minutes as a result of that. Injury to Mason Wood, who's been subbed out of the game. Wanganeen-Milera has been prominent already. Burns. St Kilda looking full of run and spirit here at the moment. And now going into just play safe mode in this last few seconds, and that's good in itself to see that they've realised not to concede. Cameron. Right in front of that Shane Warne stand. He would have definitely been here tonight, Warney. There's Steele. Collingwood looked promising early. Saints look fantastic late. Injury to Mason Wood, being subbed out of the game with a concussion. Good contest here to quarter time.
Watching Thursday Night Footy on Fox, brought to you by Tradie Beer.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Footy on Fox, brought to you by Trading Beer. A really interesting opening quarter at the MCG. The Saints were a little sloppy to begin with, and then a really horrific incident involving Mason Wood, which stopped play for quite some time to make sure that he was okay. And then they came out and kicked 4 goals in a row, Jace. It's completely turned the game on its head.
It's a bizarre first quarter, wasn't it? Collingwood got the good start they wanted because the Saints did a lot of things wrong and presented a couple of goals to Collingwood. But then, as you say, post Mason Wood going down, 4 unanswered goals. And that's a free kick you don't need to give because you've got the ruckman right beside you, so it's probably not going to happen. And we're not even suggesting that the Saints were absolutely slick, but all the 4 goals came from Collingwood turnovers, and St Kilda were able to punish them. Liam Henry goes back and kicks that one, makes it look nice and easy. And even this one here. So it's a great intercept mark from Darcy Moore, who did a couple of things like this, but then handball straight to Brad Hill, who kicks the goal. I mean, he looks like he's playing well, but his first spoil that went backwards gave Jack Higgins his first goal as well. So good and bad from both of them. This one here, again, they've got numbers. The ball comes in, and that's a free kick given away on the goal line against Billy Frampton. So they started OK, Collingwood. They're still not playing as well as they would like, but certainly the momentum is with St Kilda after Mason Wood went down, funnily enough.
The Pies' pressure has been quite good, so you imagine Craig McRae will be drawing on that. But we can see that the first 20 minutes, the Saints just weren't quite clicking. No,
and that's where they coughed up a couple of goals that you normally wouldn't see. Deep down in defence, one over the back to McInnes, and the Lipinski goal where he just danced through a couple of tackles and there was a fumble in there and no one stopped him from doing that. So they've got their game going now. The question is, can Collingwood raise another challenge? So they got, you know, a 2-goal lead early. What are they going to do in the second quarter? How are they going to adjust? Because at the moment, they're not playing well enough, and every time they turn it over, and they're taking some risks and turning it over, they're getting punished by the Saints.
You put on the agenda before the game, you want to see more from Jordan De Goey?
Seeing glimpses, not enough. Needs to be better, but they all need to be better.
Jack Higgins has certainly been lively, as has Max King, been involved in a few scores. So the Saints with the lead by 2 goals at quarter time as we head back to the MCG. We want to see a lift from the Pies in this. We thought it might be low scoring. 8 goals in the opening quarter. Pretty good stuff as we head back to the MCG for St Kilda and Collingwood.
There's a second go at it, Cameron. Mitchell fights for it. Sinclair underneath, gets it out to Steele. His hand pass pinched by De Goey, the fend. Dacos, a rare fumble, but gets it back off to Josh Dacos. Markov to half forward, good kick. Schultz marks on his chest. Myercheck was stationary at full forward. It's kicked in his direction with a couple to beat. It gets over everyone, and Wanganeen-Milera makes acceptingly for the chest mark behind.
Really well done by Wilkie to get Cox well and truly under the footy and not allow him to compete in the air then too. There's Josh Dacos. They have a little bit of trouble removing it from the defensive 50. Centering ball. Plenty of St Kilda jumpers around. Hill. Difficult ball, running flat out, trying to pick that up. And the 2 Hills go at it.
Rowan, Darcy. Here, guys.
Really good crowd in here tonight. Won't break the record, I don't think, of 81,000, but I think still be into the 70s. High footy here, Frampton, Crisp, and now Maynard. Sends it back in. It's all one-on-ones here. Not to the advantage of Myercheck. Hill able to keep it alive.
Bit of direction to the top of the goal square coming. Feedback to Bobby Hill on that occasion. Frampton doing a fantastic job on King, though. He's the leading possession winner on the ground for the Pies so far.
Battle. His kick smothered by Cox. It's a big frame to get it over. He falls on top of it. The umpire said he dived on it and will ping him for holding the ball. Mason might feel like he's been a little harshly dealt with there.
I get the rule that you drag it in, you've got to knock it out. But when the objective of the other team is to jump on you and not allow you to knock it out, it does seem strange.
Battle with the free kick, goes to the wing. Moore's in this pack. Through the fingers it goes. Higgins clean to Burns. Burns kicks it into Filippo. Membry caught. driven into the ground. No free kick for Howe. Great strong tackling pressure from Schultz on Steele. Marshall and Cameron. Higgins another rove, a squaring ball. Lipinski best placed.
Lipinski. Mitchell to side bottom. Overlap running, got crisp on as well if he wants him, or Bobby Hill a bit longer. Takes the longer option.
Unrealistic attempt. St. Kilda free kick.
Umpire Lee Fisher.
That's up here.
Really well done from Wilkie there, sliding across, picking the right option, and then winning the free kick.
Wilkie. Short ball to Sinclair.
Play on.
Sinclair to Ross, and game 200 for him. Here comes Moore again across the face of the pack, did well. Picked up here by Membry, snap at goal. They've got 5 St. Kilda goals in a row. Look dangerous when they get it inside their 50. Ross Lyon would be delighted.
Well, Darcy Moore is the man that makes the decision, bottom right of your screen, to come off Tim Membry. Has no impact, doesn't clear the ball with a fist. And Membry, like a fortune, falls out in that direction. But Darcy Moore is the captain. He needs to be better there. If he is going to leave his direct opponent, you have to make contact with the fist, clear the drop zone, clear the area.
Cameron first hand to it in the middle. Windhagen knocked off it to Goey's hand pass. Out to Lipinski. To Nick Dacos, who finds side bottom in a bit of space. His kick towards Elliott. Did well to keep it in front of himself. And then he tackles his opponent without the ball. And that had a fair impact on Stocker.
Initial contact high. Stand.
Real old clout round the head.
You, mate.
Battle. King. The longest target, he goes in his direction. King to fly up over the top of Frampton, couldn't pull it in. Moore worked it forward towards Dacos. Windhager so hungry for it. His hand pass went to Dacos. His hand pass, hopeful. Henry runs onto it, squaring, kicks it, clever one to Burns.
He does. Burns marks. Uncontested in the middle.
Play on.
Going to get an update on Mason Wood in just a moment with Aaron. We'll get a break in play, so stay with us for that. Short little ball. Ross. Forward for the Saints. 5 St. Kilda goals in a row. As yet, Collingwood do not have the answer. Frampton. Down to you, Aaron. Update on Mason Wood.
Yeah, boys, he has concussion. He is currently on the way to the hospital having precautionary scans if needed. And obviously Zane Cordy, who was involved in that, he's all good back on the field, boys.
Move it on. Play on.
Thanks, Aaron. Everyone hoping for a good outcome for Mason Wood. Oh, what a fly from Elliott. Couldn't pull it in. Ross to Burns. Burns sweeps it back. Bonner. Stocker cuts a line. Drives the Saints back to the attacking side of the wing, and Higgins takes the mark. Moore is just that one step off, it seems, tonight at times. The Saints go forward again. Sinclair couldn't hit a target. Howe and Sidebottom combined to bring the Pies out of defence. Now Maynard to the wing. McCreary will have to stretch. He does and takes the mark.
There's no doubt that Maynard would have gone inside earlier had they had the confidence that they normally have, but he just hesitated. Mark off now. Lipinski.
Stand, Brad.
Because they were queued up in the middle. Lipinski to reel and go.
Insane you.
Deep ball in. High footy. Back of the pack.
Contact, St. Kilda.
McInnes, and it'll be a Saints ball here. High contact. Stocker off the footy.
And it was something Craig McRae said to you, BT, pre-game in that interview, that they might just use the corridor a little less. The cues were read there by Schultz. Ross frustrated, and Schultz to take a very important shot for the Pies in the context of this match.
Yeah, it's a good point, Al.
That's your line now, Lockie.
He did say that, didn't he?
5 consecutive goals here for St Kilda, Daisy.
Just going to say, smart heads-up play here by Schultz. Never gave up on the contest. 3 players were out. He was defending in the middle of them. Chose the right decision and came forward, got a nice turnover.
Serious St Kilda momentum at the moment. Schultz needs to intervene in that, and does. Margin back to 12 points. Played 7 minutes of the second quarter. Schultz with the accurate finish he's known for. Kicked over 30 goals the last couple of seasons. First year at the Pies. Now they need to build on that.
And it's a rare sight that we do see this, but it's something that's coming into St Kilda's game. They are willing to take it back through the middle tonight, especially from the halfway point. Lachie Schultz will enjoy this one. His first goal in the black and white colours, and plenty more to come. A great pickup for the Pies.
Absolutely. That was a big goal for the momentum of the game, because St Kilda have been completely in control. Zach Jones. That'll be a free kick St Kilda's way.
St Kilda, holding.
Against Maynard, and Owens the recipient.
Stand.
King offers an early lead, but Owens wasn't quite ready to go at that stage. Long, deep ball, King across the face, and almost opportunity. Mitchell ran into the knee. And will win the free. And the Collingwood crowd down there going berserk.
Time back on, stand.
Mitchell.
Play on.
Through the back pocket.
You. Yep.
Not a well-timed kick. Off the outside of the boot. Owens in front, holds onto it.
Stand, steal, stand. Yep. Play on.
Owens. Good option to Marshall. Howe makes the spoil. Maynard crumbs. Under pressure. Mitchell side bottom. Pendlebury. They're all under pressure when the Prince of Collingwood's making mistakes by foot. You can tell they're feeling it a bit, the Pies. Wilkie into the middle to Stocker.
So William Stocker. And he'll get it deep inside 50. Membry the target. Jump by Cameron, and then Darcy Moore, the free advantage paid. It'll be brought back. And Darcy Moore in the back half. So a goal apiece here in the second. Got to say, Joel have almost arrested a bit of momentum here, the Pies.
Yeah, they have, and we'll see them build it up through this passage of play again. But we heard Ross Lyon say before the game that they've got marking power. They have been sending Rowan Marshall forward a lot of the time to even those numbers up.
Pendlebury through the pack. Mayatek turns and goes, and big opportunity here now. McInnes over the top to Elliott, deep in the pocket. Difficult shot though. Got a choice. Drop punt, right foot banana, run around to the left. Going to go on the left by the looks of that. Got to make that commitment to himself that that's the right way to go. He does that now and just pulls it to the near side.
Even that win across the half-forward line to build that play up, that's something that's allowed Collingwood to move the ball with such freedom.
Bonner. Go as far as he can. Owens and Maynard. Maynard brings it to ground level. Steele waiting for it though. Off to Brad Hill.
Holding advantage, St Kilda.
You heard it from the umpire. Jones to Sharman. Sharman's got King around the wing. He's got the run of Ross. Howe closed him down though. Shut the outlet. King squaring ball. Not sure that was the best option. Bobby Hill on the turnover. Collingwood. Elliott sweeps it wide. Josh Dacos comes back infield to Elliott.
Stand.
He's looking for crisp and then thought better of it. Kick was smothered. Swooping Higgins. He's got Membry over the top, but Moore sets himself in the marking contest. Howe belts it away. Boundary throw in.
So this is Mason Wood on his way to hospital, as Aaron rightly reported a few moments ago. He's got the green whistle in hand as well. And he'll be well looked after.
Looks like he might be in a sling there too, BT, so...
Dacos. High footy, Elliott battle. Myercheck wraps him up in the tackle. Plenty of St Kilda jumpers around this. Elliott did really well. Almost beat the three. Wilkie, Wanganeen-Milera, Hill. Through the middle of the ground. Here go the Saints again. Higgins. Maynard. Higgins did well, not paid the mark because Maynard had a piece of it, said the umpire. But eventually comes out to Frampton. Little fumble. Side bottom didn't go with it. Picked up by Crisp. Maynard. And now back to Crisp.
Missed Pendlebury with a hand pass. Oh, he caught one high there, Mitchell. Umpire didn't see it. Crisp got it towards Pendlebury. Socket by Crisp. Taken by Ross, sends it back the other way. King's got Hill if he can get it to him. Strong tackle by Howe.
St Kilda.
A lingering tackle, says the umpire. Collingwood fans getting all the more agitated as King goes to the pocket and finds his target in Sharman. It'll be a tough shot for Cooper Sharman.
Just the Pies trying to force it a little bit there as they got the turnover. McInnes was out if they had looked up, but the extra handball inviting that St Kilda pressure that's been so good.
A few words of advice from over the fence. It's across the face of goal and scraping in for a minor.
Inside 50s, 10-5 in this quarter, St Kilda's way. So the Pies defence under a lot of pressure, really struggling to get it past halfway without it coming back in.
Maynard. McInnes did well. Mitchell just kept it rolling forward almost to take some metres. Stocker. Corralled by Elliott. Did well. Nice and composed to Wilkie, and Wilkie says that'll do us. We'll just shut up shop for a minute. Goes backwards. Josh Battle. Into the hands of Bonner. Burns. Slowly forward. Wilson couldn't hold on. Quaynor. Little one to Pendlebury. Pendlebury did the goey. Not far enough. Got to go. Strong in the hips. De Goey from 52. High ball. McCreary. Hill couldn't get ground. Myercheck misses.
Was that front-on contact?
He did it. It was a great job. He scrambled. First initial thoughts is that he had a look at the contest, and that's what you've got to do when you go back like that.
Saints moving the ball on angles, shifting it nicely. Wanganeen-Milera to Wilkie. Wilkie to Brad Hill, who likes a gallop. And feints to kick a couple of times. McInnes did well, got a hand to it. Moore knocked it down. Crowder's mouth was touched. Maynard drills it back to the wing beautifully. McInnes works it through. McCreary. This looks like Collingwood. Danger time here. Had to hold his ground, Schultz. Burns coming the other way. Bonner wins it. Off to Windhager, off to Steele, off to Jones. The counter-attacking rate is on. Jones runs into a wall. His hand pass doesn't hit Windhager. He's knocked off it. Marshall goes and gets it. McCreary again. Kicked inside 50, Maynard.
Bo McCreary take a bow. Couple of big efforts there. Saved the day for the Pies. Pendlebury, Mitchell.
Stand, please, mate.
De Goey's on in the middle if he's brave enough.
Play on.
Mitchell says I'm not up for that.
Outside 5.
Feel like both sides just be happy to find some uncontested marks here. Knock a couple of seconds off the clock.
Ball holding a long time in the air again, even though it was low and hard. Enough for the defenders to arrive. Bobby Hill around the corner. Be happy for the out of bounds here, the Saints. They keep it alive. Battle. Quaynor. Able to go back and get it again. This time gave it off to Josh Dacos. Somehow carves out a path. Good ball, McCreary. Wanganeen-Milera has got to go. He did. He did it effectively. Cox keeps the arms free. Got boot the ball. Round the corner. Dacos gets his second. Collingwood 2 in a row. They are living dangerously. Nevertheless, good fight at the moment.
Well, Daisy, you were just talking about both sides looking for just a 5-second rest. They get it here and now, but it was the 50-50s in this play and just staying alive on the play. Reef McInnes gets his chance this week, and if he keeps doing this, he makes the most of his opportunities too.
I don't know what it looks like down there, Erin, but from up here, it looks like there's a great tempo to this game.
Guys, this game has been played at a frenetic pace. Both these sides are just dying for half-time. And I think there's only been 2 stoppages in the whole second quarter, so a lot of burning legs out there.
Oh, absolutely. Quaynor, the half-back. Brad Hill came off a moment ago, looked completely gassed. Nick Dacos marks.
Might even be injured.
Through the corridor, Schultz marks. And keep an eye on that, BT. Did they even find a go-ahead goal here, perhaps, Collingwood? Oh, Myercheck! Cameron tackle, dragged down by Stocker. Cleared by Cordy, but only as far as Lipinski. Here is the chance. Getting the ankle worked on, BT. Well spotted.
Both sides, it seemed like, really happy just to play that up and back game. No one wanting to be the first to flinch and take the time off the game. Happy to just continue to roll the dice going forward.
St Kilda kicked 5 in a row to lead by 18 points. Can Lipinski put the Pies back in front? They've returned serve in style. 2 for Lipinski. So Pat Lipinski with an accurate finish to continue this match that's had some serious momentum shifts. There's been moments where hearts were in mouth for either side as the ball movement has been very proactive at times. Exciting to watch. Collingwood taking its chance.
Here we see into a contest, and we spoke about chaos inside the Collingwood forward line earlier in the night. When Collingwood's playing their best, they're setting up the ground so well. Many occasions in this second quarter of the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes, we've seen them look up St Kilda, and there's Collingwood players right in front of him. It's making him second guess right now.
It's amazing. You feel like St Kilda have dominated. Yet they're now down by 1 point. Unbelievable. Cox. And he'll be running over the top of Windhager. Bit firm for Wilson. Advantage paid. Josh Dacos. McInnes and Wilkie. And Wilkie wins the free. Soaked up the pressure, Wilkie. Wants to get it moving quickly as well. And free kick will go the way of Jack Sinclair.
Saints best and fairest. Into the team tonight. Return from the calf. Wanganeen-Milera. Down the pipe he goes with conviction. Had to be precise. Found Battle. Battle's got Burns all on his own and Bonner running for him. Burns didn't shepherd. Not sure why. Sharman had to wait for it. Spoiled by Frampton. McCreary to Nick Dacos. Bouncing ball. Cordy comes to meet it. Kept it in front. Did brilliantly. Off to Windhager. Ross. Wilkie. All by hand now. Bonner around the body. That was a kick without looking. Quaynor knocked it down. McCreary works it forward. Myercheck should collect.
He does. He goes underground to Bonner. In fact, McInnes. McInnes to side bottom here to Nick Dacos. Lovely little arch to the back. McInnes and Maynard. Long ball. Cameron's got to beat a couple. Myercheck come back for support. Wanganeen-Milera around. Bobby Hill went for the little low skirting ball here to Josh Dacos. Confronted there by Wilson. Wilson did well without giving away the free. And now in the hands of the Saints defence as they bang it out, and they'll get an opportunity here through Owens.
He wants to take them on.
He almost bit off more than he could chew in big Mason Cox. Moore rips it away. Off to Markov. He's got Josh Dacos. Approaches the 50. Squaring kick for Cameron. Got it.
Absolutely brilliant here from Mason Cox. Not the biggest impact on the game, but just pivotal in not letting that ball get past him. And on turnover again, the Pies getting it done, but Mason Cox hasn't had the biggest impact on this game, just the one disposal. But those things are a great way to bring yourself into it.
For 4 in a row for Collingwood. And a 7-point lead. You bet. So what swings we've had in this game. Magpies got out by 13 in the first quarter. St Kilda worked its way back 5 in a row, led by as much as 18. And now the Pies with 4 on end and a lead of 7 points.
Well, the Mason Cox decision to come forward, make the tackle. It's the 3 disposals on the night for Mason, only the 1 in this quarter. But have a look at that. The entire score for the Magpies tonight has come from turnover. 7 goals, 3. Their ability to apply pressure, that is off the charts.
That'll mean a lot for their confidence. Why not?
Absolutely. And when you are out of form as a team and you're looking to get yourself back into it, one of the best things you can do in the easiest way is just continually applying pressure. Tackle pressure shows that you're certainly up for the fight.
Pendlebury to Frampton. Funny old ball inside 50, neither here nor there. Cameron tried to make something work out of it in the end and increases the lead to 8 points here for the Pies as we near the half-time break.
Had just the 2 possessions in the grand final, Billy Frampton, Daisy, but he's had 12 tonight.
It was hard to believe at quarter time he was the leading ball winner for the Pies on the ground. I had to check that twice. He's been really good, though, against King.
Wanganeen-Milera. Free kick to Owens, who had his arms pulled in that marking contest.
The one thing I do love about Billy Frampton, with Nathan Murphy not in the side, is he is just a one-on-one defender. We see here Max King's been forward the deepest 40% of the time, but he's had the trailer on in Billy Frampton, who's doing a great job holding up, winning some of the ball himself, as we touched on, but also just halving those aerial contests. Higgins back there as well, trying to get to his feet. That's a clear direction from Ross Lyon to obviously have the big, the tall, and then Membry, as we know so well. He gets up the ground. He's that release kick so often.
Marshall and Cox. Cox the palm to Mitchell. Pendlebury, though. A wobbler. Wilkie couldn't take it a post to Myercheck. Another stoppage.
Right in. Mason, Ryan. Keep the meter, guys.
Ross is not keen to give the lip readers too much to work with.
Probably a good thing at this time slot.
Side bottom. Nick Dacos. Through the hands of Crisp. Maynard used his body. Crisp goes in again. Tried to knock it out.
My ball.
Under a minute until half-time.
Thanks, Scott.
Umpire Lee Fisher there.
Scott.
Played 30 of his 55 games under Ross Lyon. You'd know a little bit about him. And he's been a great umpire since coming to join the AFL ranks, doing a sensational job, Lee Fisher. So a bit of a checkmate situation here. 40-odd seconds. Collingwood by 8 points. Trailed at the quarter by 12 and by 18 at the start of the quarter. After St Kilda kicked their 5th consecutive goal. Down the line, Moore. Kept alive there by Henry. And a few celebs in the crowd tonight. Mark Ware, of course, the Formula 1 circus in town. Eric Banner there as well. Mark Webber, a superb driver in the Formula 1.
Crisp gains a few metres for the Pies. Wanganeen-Milera, who's been excellent, off to Burns, back to where it came from. The link in the chain, Wanganeen-Milera to half forward, King at the back. Quaynor dropped it. Henry trying to get dangerous. Only seconds until the break. Collingwood will clear it. More to Pendlebury. And Cox takes it on the wing.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Footy on Fox. Halftime brought to you by Bunnings Warehouse. So much to analyse out of that opening half at the MCG. A 4-goal quarter to the Pies has them right in this. There's been plenty of errors from both sides. Jason Dunstall, David King and Joey.
Go back and kick a few goals. He's having a really tough night against Billy Frampton, who we thought might be a matchup that would suit Max King, but Frampton's actually played pretty well.
Yeah, it's twofold. They've got to take their chances, the St Kilda forwards, but Frampton and Darcy Moore have had 15 intercept disposals between them at half-time. You're right, Jace, he's had some nearly moments. Max King nearly took that big mark, top of the square. The forwards have got to get firing for the Saints.
Are you there yet, the Saints? Are you there? Can you win this game?
8 points the margin as we head to the third term at the MCG. Collingwood and St Kilda. It's Spud's game.
Seesawing game. Windhager wearing that famous number 2 that Danny Frawley wore so proudly. His time at St Kilda. The boy from Bungaree. By Jacob Mollison. Little one comes from Henry to Hill. Hill normally dynamite. Frampton being pretty good tonight.
Coming up for possession, number 12. He's taken the 5 marks, BT, to the wing. Cameron, the target, but battle with the strong hands.
Dan.
Membry and Moore lock up. Kick goes deep. Out comes King, holds on to it. Protected the drop with his sizable frame and juggled the mark.
Did a terrific job of that, did Max King. Realised where the ball was coming early. As you see here, just stops and engages Frampton and then comes back onto the ball. That's some great forward craft from the big man. For Frampton, you probably go, OK, well, if you're going to have a shot from anywhere, we'll take it from here. We know that King certainly got the journey.
He's kicked 1 tonight. To kick it over 50 metres. That looked fluid. And what a finish it is. He's pumped up and the Saints get one back. Just the effortless nature of that kick. It had a beautiful rhythm to it. So 2 tonight for King. Margin back to 2. Early stages of the third term.
The key part of this whole play is just a little engagement there of King going back. So he had the forward space, the protected space, but just at the right time, engaged Billy Frampton, then came back onto the ball, and that is an absolute delightful finish.
He protected that space so that only he could arrive to mark the footy.
And the art in understanding where the drop zone is so quickly, great forward craft.
It was indeed. Schultz to Goey, trying to muscle it forward. McInnes. Ross. Wilkie able to feed it out nicely to Sinclair. Sinclair, a little one over the top to Burns. Now Wanganeen-Milera. Out wide. Hammers it down the line. Henry's underneath this and he makes it work.
Stand, Darcy.
Good user of the footy into the danger zone. Membry.
Liam Henry finds the one in between. He's had a couple of possessions to start this quarter that is just showing the Saints fans on why the Saints went after him.
Tim, that's your line.
Here's the live wire. Fun to watch. 45th game for Liam Henry tonight. Tim Membry, on the other hand, 162. Kick of about 45 metres here. Looks good. Very, very nice indeed. 2 early ones in the third for the Saints. Membry gets his first of the night. puts the Saints 4 points up. In fact, it's his second of the night, sorry. Kicked one in the second quarter. Saints by 4 points.
Just so well coached, this St Kilda side. That you see how hard they get out to work, make sure that they keep them accountable. And here, Tim Membry on Darcy Moore, blocks out for Liam Henry. Darcy Moore gets caught up the ground and in and behind. It's hard to do against this Collingwood side that's so well trained.
Pendlebury a floater, awkward bounce for side bottom. You see Brad Hill back on the ground, was getting treatment on his ankle late in the second quarter. Battle a strong tackle on side bottom.
Straight up, thank you. Back in here. Next step. Ball, thank you. Come in here, guys. Rowan, Darcy.
Well, Fisher sorts things out.
High contact, St
Cameron
Kilda.
has given away the free kick there. The arm draped over.
Stand there, Darcy.
Rowan Marshall.
Come round, Rowan. Come back round. Time back on. Stand. Play on. You, mate.
Going to attempt to switch the play through Wilkie. And Wanganeen-Milera, they love to get the ball in his hands, BT.
Yeah, they love it. They're going out of their way to make sure he has an opportunity to kick the footy. I'm assuming, Joel, that is a deliberate ploy, knowing his skill by foot.
Yeah, they've got a few of them back there. Riley Bonner's also another one to get the ball in the hands of. Liam Stocker's in that category too.
Down the line, Cameron. Looks inside. Was tempted. Markov was there.
Stand.
Maynard.
Move it on. Play on. You.
Very deliberately down the line. Mychek flew, didn't get hands near it. Owens. Lovely handball, Windhager. Busts the Howe tackle. Out to Wanganeen-Milera. Steps on the gas. Takes some good meterage. Beautiful ball to Membry. King wants it. One out. Didn't get the depth in the kick that he'd hoped. Side bottom there. Knocks it to Higgins. Higgins runs in and kicks his third. Wow. This game continues to go and have momentum swing changes. St Kilda have kicked the last three after Collingwood kicked the previous four. That man there has been in amongst most things that have been good for the Saints.
Well, this is why the Saints want the ball in the hands of Wanganeen-Milera. The ability to find this target in and amongst four of the Pies defenders. That's the reason they had so many numbers out goal side. That kick drew them in. They all thought they had a chance on the play. The kick was perfect, and no doubt Steele side bottom. If he had his time again, may have gone a touch harder. A little bit of voice there would have also helped, but well done to Higgins. 4 inside 50s for 3 goals for the Saints in this quarter. Windhager, a helicopter to half forward again. Owens used the body on Quaynor, who was paid the mark, but then the umpire thought better of it. I think they'll be balling this one up. Early whistle, and then a correction.
Mason, hold there.
12 of the 16 goals in the game have been kicked to the punt road end, including the last 7. The Saints might want a few more. Steele worked hard. Nick Dacos tackled by Burns, and not enough effort made to get it out, said the ump.
Release. Nick, release.
Burns with the free kick in game 50.
Well, if you drag it in, the onus is on you to knock it out. And that is pretty clear instruction from the umpire. Burns to King. Moore arriving late. Henry ripped it away. He was caught in the tackle. Crisp. Collingwood under huge pressure here at the moment. The two Dacos boys combine. Josh shows Steele a clean set of heels. Manoeuvres the ball to Schultz. Now Elliott. Kicks to no one though. It'll come back. Battle. Little chip ball to Stocker, one of those guys that Joel mentioned you wanted in the hands of.
Back to centre half back. Hill.
Play on.
Wilkie.
Play on.
Membry on the lead to the wing. He goes short to Wilson.
Outside 5. Play on.
Wilson loops it back to Wilkie. Wilkie neat with his pass to Marshall.
Stand.
You could see him looking infield, but thought better of it. Now drives it as far as he can in the King and Sharman direction. King hands to it, no mark. Membry runs into trouble. Howe goes through to Nick Dacos, dropped it. Side bottoms caught, the ferocity from Windhager. Superb, it's still alive. Owens wants a piece at Markov. St Kilda ratcheting up the pressure.
Thank you.
Dominating territory, 6-zip, inside 50s in this quarter. Ball just can't get up the other end, really applying the clamps. Giving themselves the best look at re-entries as well here, the Saints.
Motivating themselves at the same time. They draw great confidence from that. Cameron here had it knocked away. Gee, it's open through the middle. Crisp decided to go sideways. Josh Dacos. Now, Elliott, Stocker's really done well on him. Didn't go to the ball, didn't give him away either. And now wraps him up in the tackle. It's as good as you can play. Someone like Elliott gives the free away in the end. Stocker, he was under enormous one-on-one pressure.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Took the outside positioning, so Jamie Elliott had to either make the decision to work through him and then hit up, or try and get him out the back. The second was the option made. He did it really well. Unfortunately, gave away a free kick, but in doing so, though, he has bought some time for his defenders to get back.
Not a lot of oxygen left in the lungs. I think he might have landed on the ball with the tackle as well and deflated them. Elliott, Cox, Owens.
Stand, Mason, stand.
Disappointing result. Saints by 10 points. Sinclair and side bottom did well without giving away the free. Here's Bobby Hill round the corner with a neat ball to Lipinski. Lipinski from 50, just a little bit too far out to score, you would think. Lipinski thought about the kick to De Goey. Wouldn't have been paid the mark, I wouldn't have thought. So now Lipinski pops a high ball up for Cox, deliberately crafted for him. Saints aware of it. Elliott clever to Hill, to side bottom around the corner. Magnificent attempt from there.
Come through.
Sharman back there to deny. To the southern side, Moore with the height advantage on Higgins, palmed it down underneath to Mitchell. Frampton hand passed into the head of Moore. Nick Dacos out to Zach Jones, who took it off to Wilson, to Burns, to Battle. The Saints come away cleanly again. Membry, defensive side of the wing. Jones, they look full of running, St Kilda. They share it around that outer side. Wilson to King. Ball movements, brilliant ball movements. Can King apply the finishing touches? Collingwood this season, 1 goal in third quarters. They've conceded 12. They call it the premiership quarter. The premiers have had their issues so far this season, and King looking to make the tally read all the more unfavourably. Can he fade it back? He can. He's having a say. King's got 3. What an imposing presence he is in that St Kilda forward line. Missed the early part of the year last year with the shoulder reconstruction. Heard it again late in the year, came back and finished the season off. But a full campaign could produce big numbers.
The knock on the Pies in the first couple of games has been the disorganisation and the bit of confusion on defence here. You see down the bottom of the screen, Jeremy Howe not sure whether to go forward or come back. Makes a poor pressing decision, comes up to Henry, which allows King out the back. No sliding support there from the defence. Just all at sea on transition are the Pies in defence.
Back in the middle. Seen this before. Consecutive runs in this game. Have Collingwood got one left in them, or is it going to be the Saints all the way? Can open them right up. A great opportunity for St Kilda right now. Battle to Jones. Jones over the Toyota logo.
Holding.
And a free kick will go the way of Collingwood here. Isaac Quaynor at half-back.
The other thing that's pulling the Pies' defence apart is the kicking skills from St Kilda. 82% in this third quarter. The ability to find a target, chip the ball, change an angle. If you are coming up against a defence that isn't quite sure, it's a great way to do it. Pick them apart, find the options going forward.
Crisp calls for movement. Goes to the pack. Cox from the side. Good mark. Myercheck at half forward comes up. Nudged under it by Wilkie. Free kick.
It was even Cox just turning and facing the game quickly there that it just allowed that lead by Myercheck to come up.
Can't just put this to a dangerous spot, though. Marshall's done a really good job of getting back in the hole. Need to be crafty where they put this.
So it's to the pocket. Elliott the target. Marshall got back. McCreary takes Stocker down. And a boundary throw in. Right forward pocket.
That's a win from the Saints there. A dangerous ball in a dangerous spot. Force Collingwood to the pocket rather than them hitting a dangerous spot or trying to find a shorter option inside 50.
Blood rule, St Kilda. Throw it in again.
St Kilda players enjoying the MCG here at the moment. A rare opportunity for them to get a look here. And Stocker will come from the ground under that blood rule, and Rowan Marshall's got blood. It's barely flowing. I think the rule says that it's got to be sort of flowing substantial blood, otherwise it can be wiped off and you can stay. So a little unlucky there for Rowan Marshall, but 10 minutes to go. Collingwood have got to act.
Yeah, and they do. They need to start getting some repeat entries. They need to be creative here around the ball. St Kilda have got all their numbers back there. It's even at the stage where they've got to send their numbers in, the Saints.
With the ruckman coming off, it gives Cox a big advantage here to try and get a little bit of a set play going. In a huddle they were, Nick Dacos.
So who are we looking out for here?
I would say Jamie Elliott flying through the middle of this one after a couple of blocks.
So Owens is going to be his opponent. Substantial difference there. Does well Cox to Pendlebury. Pendlebury almost got it to Crisp. Crisp to Mitchell. A little bit of a fumble. It's a difficult handball to handle. St Kilda battling it out. They eventually win it through Owens. Ball wide now to Wilson. Got to take on Lipinski. Lipinski gives him another opportunity inside 50 here. Jack Crisp in amongst that. There is Marshall getting that eye fixed. Just a tiny little nick on the eye.
He didn't want to go off too. I think he sensed the time of the game.
So Owens has to go in against Cox, who flicks it to the back. Roundhouse right from Ross. Wilson over the head. Jones pushed as he kicked. Quaynor, is he held there by Higgins? No free kick. Umpire to ball it up.
Thanks, Jack. Who we got? Mason, Mitch.
And with play on the opposite side of the ground, they've got to find a way of getting Big Marshall back on when he is cleaned up. Lipinski. Hill stretch, couldn't take it. A chance for Elliott. Dangerous as ever. Finishing as ever. A very important one for the Pies. Jamie Elliott's kicked a couple. And again, Collingwood able to halt the St Kilda run. It had got out to 4 goals. The lead out to 16. Biggest lead the Saints have enjoyed is 18 in the game so far. And for Collingwood, they led by 13 at one stage in the first quarter. Is it Collingwood's turn now to get the run on?
Territory becoming ever so important in this game, and it's not getting it done so often on the first inside 50, but fighting, getting it done 60 metres out and then getting a repeat entry to an unset defence. The Pies have evened up the inside 50s. 5-7 now. It was 5-zip at one point in this game, so the team that can get it in and lock it in and around their 50-metre arc, going a long way so far, is the tail to finding a score and hitting the scoreboard.
Couple for Elliott. Owens with the clearance. Howe. Beautiful Henry off the pack. Got it to Membry. He can straighten. Pressure coming at him from Maynard was well worth it, because it directly forced the ball wide off the boot.
Mitch Owens in the footy record comes in at 191. I can tell you he's a lot taller than that, seeing him on the ground early in the night. Did a great job in the middle there.
4th in St Kilda's best and fairest last season. Demonstrating his growing stature at the club. Myercheck.
We couldn't believe how big he was when he walked past. He doesn't look that massive on the screens, but when he's cruising past. He's a large lump of a kid.
Cox down the line, rises early, almost pulled it in. He's been paid.
Stand.
A couple of little moments here for Mason Cox.
Move it on. Play on.
Here comes Myercheck, front of the pack. Free kick against Owens. And that was the out-of-zone umpire that made that adjudication. Myercheck right on the edge of his range.
Stand, Mitch.
Yeah, maybe just a little too far, but he's best to get it.
Not sure what the wind's doing now, Joel, but felt at ground level like the wind was assisting a kick like this when we were out there earlier.
It did 60 minutes ago, Al, so we'll see how it carries here.
Myercheck will have to kick it best part of 58 metres to get it through. He sits it up. It won't be a goal. Marking contest. Wanganeen-Milera works it through. McInnes had it in his hands, but beyond the line.
So it's a big couple of minutes here for the Saints not to concede consecutive goals. Would be the target. Frampton, strong. Big Dukes. Cox wanting the footy on his head. Crisp saying no, go short sideways to Quainer. He doesn't do that. High ball and St Kilda all over it. Battle, third man up. Able to strip it out of the pack.
And it was Rowan Marshall holding down Mason Cox there that allowed that mark.
Here is Wilson. Youngster takes off and down the line he goes with a good ball there to Sharman, although Maynard defended it cleverly. Howe back to Moore. Moore goes long and deep over the head of Bobby Hill. Didn't get back. Should have affected the contest then. And Wanganeen-Milera with that beautiful foot knocks up and finds an opportunity through the middle in Jones.
Jones has Cordy screaming for it. He's got Burns around the wing on his own. Goes by hand initially. Ross. Neat kick to Owens.
Play on.
Off to the run of Bonner. Bonner in the Henry direction. Over the back it goes. Did Sharman push his opponent? Umpire pays the mark. Cooper Sharman to line them up.
We wait on a replay to see if there was a little shove. I just think it was good timing. Initial thought. Looked like Jeremy Howe was going to jump as he usually does. Just a little bit of body work.
Yeah, got him slightly in the side, but it is great body work by Sharman. He's been playing a key role down there all night.
Sharman looking to restore the 16-point lead. A great strike and missing to the far side.
What's Ross Lyon thinking now, I wonder, Joel? I wonder what he's...
I think what you were talking about before, BT, just not letting Collingwood get the next one on the board, even if they make it back into a bit of an arm wrestle for this next 5 minutes. Keep the ball in this half of the ground.
Moore looking for Cox, great mark. Lipinski, brilliant smother, Brad Hill. He'll get the congratulations of all.
Darcy, Rowan.
Chris Fagan there, of course.
Thank you.
Brisbane coach, interested spectator here today. Brisbane have got Collingwood at the Gabba in 2 weeks. Next Thursday, in fact, Easter Thursday.
Yep.
So that's a big one for them. Here's Ross. Jeremy Howe. Josh Dacos. Mitchell. Funny little give. Picked up there by Owens initially, given off to Ross. Ross goes deep inside. Frampton couldn't hold the mark. Collingwood under enormous pressure. We've got a couple of minutes to go here in this third quarter. Crisp, overlap run. Got the handball out wide. Can they get something going here, the Pies? Side bottom goes for the all or nothing, trying to get it over to Myercheck. Not strong enough in the leg.
Wilkie to Sinclair. Sinclair to Ross. Can they exploit them here, the Saints? The kick from Wanganeen-Milera didn't have enough penetration. House hand pass neither, and Owens has taken off it clumsily by side bottom.
Get out, please. Still.
No questioning that decision. Rather clumsy.
And the short pass is on.
Owens to the pocket, and Wilson, who kicked a couple of goals on debut against the Cats.
Becomes a really important kick, this one. Scoreboard pressure, we know, against the Pies is massive from what they've done in years past, but also for the Saints of a 5-day break. At some point, the gas in the legs, the petrol tank will be starting to go red line. A big lead coming into three-quarter time.
The nephew of Mick Nolan. More than a slightly different build. He pushes it. And across the face it goes. A galloping gasometer. The late, great Mick Nolan.
St Kilda would have been licking their lips when they saw Darcy Wilson still on the draft board when they got him at the end of last year. He's going to be big in this second half.
King floats back.
Stand.
Thought about Sinclair.
He has the running power that's none of the other athletes have out there.
To the contest, to the pack. Up they fly, belted away. Windhager the Rove, he'll be closed down by De Goey. Picked him off, play on, said the ump. Owens' a snap misses. 13-point lead to the Saints. Howe. Sinclair wouldn't mark under pressure from McCreery. Nick Dacos feeds it forward. Excellent hand pass. Releases McInnes. McInnes to the edge of 50. Elliott works his way to the front. Can't mark. De Goey comes through. Good hands. Off to McInnes. Off to Hill. Too high. Intercepted by Wilson.
St Kilda measuring up everywhere at the moment. Steele. Don't want to concede here. 2.5 minutes to the three-quarter time break. They lead it by 13. It's not a lot given their dominance, really, is it? Mark off. Crisp in game 211 for him. The same as the great Max Richardson played for the Pies. Rainey's brother played 277. Here they go again. King out the back door. Jeremy Howe let it go straight through his feet. Picked up here by Henry. Ran a long way. High footy. Sharman. Has marked a little closer and slightly less angle than his last shot that he missed. Big kick. For the biggest margin of the game. With 1:30 remaining in the third. Sharman, no further than 20 metres. Punt road and goals. Goal to 1/4 for the Saints. Massive kick.
Now, is Liam Henry winning a 50-50 ball at ground level, been winning the ball in great positions, but Cooper Sharman, take your moment, kid, and sure did he do that. Some of the biggest moments that he's having right now. Had a big contest with Darcy Moore over the far side, got back to the goal square.
Well, Collingwood, the reigning champs, they're being pushed back onto the ropes again. Crisp, Sockers out wide, Wanganeen-Milera, Steele, Wilson to Sinclair. To half 40 goes, and it's out in front of Owens, and will be tossed back in. Been down at three-quarter time. The Pies, the last couple of weeks as well, but by more significant margins. This is the position they have been in under Craig McRae many times.
High contact,
and found a way. Free kick to the Saints. Gee, the crowd is heavily engaged here. A lot of St Kilda fans in tonight. To the pocket. King in front, one hand got it down. Henry shoots it out. Steele. Sinclair jams it on the boot. Phillippo couldn't take it. Owens so lively. Off to Brad Hill. spins, snaps, lacks the penetration. And a bit of desperate work from Markov. A minor score, 20 the margin.
30 seconds left in the third quarter. St Kilda got the measure of the Pies right now. Just need to be ultra conservative here. And that was very nearly out of bounds on the full. Jeremy Howe has had a pretty tough night.
Bring it back. You've run well past the mark. No, you've run around. Past the mark here.
He went in a straight line. I agree with Jeremy Howe there. He went in an absolute straight line.
You want a fish? Throw it, Darcy.
I would have thought I see that happen a lot in every game. Unusual call. Henry. Markov threw it out the back door. Lucky not to be penalised. Chris, just a quick kick out. Myercheck. And that'll be it for the scoring. What a quarter it's been for the Saints. 5 goals to 1. They are standing and delivering, and so are their supporters against the reigning premiers. They lead by 20 points at three-quarter time.
From your tower of ivory, I hear you rattle your jewelry, but in a heart-bitten irony, you're a pillar of the
You're watching Thursday Night Footy on Fox.
This is Thursday Night Footy on Fox, and we potentially have a big story on our hands because St Kilda are in control at three-quarter time. They hold a 20-point lead over the reigning premiers, who are staring down the barrel of a 0-3 start to their 2024 campaign. Mitch Owens was huge in that third term. The Saints really ramping up the heat and the pressure. And Joey, if they do the sensible thing in this game and don't turn the ball over, they should be able to run it out.
Yeah, you're spot on, Jonesy. It was a great adjustment by the Collingwood coaching staff at half-time. Because if we take a look at some of the vision, we spoke at half-time about the chaotic nature of this game. It was a high turnover game, a lot of mistakes from both teams. And clearly at half-time, Ross Lyon spoke to his group and said, we just need to control the ball a bit more when we have it on offence. We need to stop giving it back to Collingwood and inviting them into the game. And you could clearly see in the quarter, a few times they switched and went around, which in the first half they might have tried to pull the trigger through the corridor. They were a bit more composed going inside 50. They were lowering the eyes. They were looking for the best option, and they played with much more poise. And it was a really strong adjustment. And to be fair, it's why they really dominated most of the quarter. 5 goals to 1. You just watch the build-up here. It wasn't rushed. They weren't, though, going slow and just going backwards and holding themselves up. They were going at the right time. But they knew that if they could just control that ball, they would get good looks. And Max King had a big turn. We said that he needed to, kicked a couple and really got the Saints going. And when you take a look at the numbers to back that up, it was stark. This was for the third quarter. The uncontested marks, the uncontested possessions. They took that away from Collingwood and they were able to control the ball themselves on offence.
So the burning question is, can Collingwood, the great escape artists of 2023, do it tonight?
Well, that is the big question. That's the pressure factor. So they did it on the other side of the ball. Look, we've lauded Collingwood for their ability to come back. And we're going to watch to see if they can do it again. To me, and to most of us watching, it looks like a different Collingwood team. This isn't the Collingwood team of 2022 and 2023 that would almost be favourites to come back and win from this situation. It would take some sort of special effort against the odds to do it. We're not going to write them off because we've seen it before. It just doesn't feel like it's the same Collingwood team.
So Collingwood have made the sub. Finn McRae comes on. Oleg Markov is off as we stare down the barrel of a final quarter on Fox Footy. Will it be a thriller? Will Collingwood take them right to the wire? Or will it be St Kilda, who have proved to be the better side for most of this game? Let's see if they can run it out. Let's head back to the MCG and a big final term on Fox Footy.
Away. Pies staring down the barrel of zip and 3 as the reigning premiers. Saints, can they find their first win, or can the Pies pull off another McRae miracle? Burns in the middle. Fights hard for it. Marshall shoots out a hand pass under severe pressure. Windhager off to Steele. Steele to half forward. King one-on-one with Frampton. Used his body well to Henry. Henry should eat it up. He does. Saints fans will lap it up. that is almost the worst possible scenario for Collingwood. They would have been hell-bent on finding the first goal of the last quarter, build some momentum off the back of it, but in the blink of an eye, the Saints kicked the first, and the margin's out to 26.
Well, the Saints would know that Collingwood are probably the best fourth quarter side in the competition. So when you got contests like that in the middle of the ground to start the quarter, it's got to help. And also Liam Henry finished. We've spoken about him all night, but geez, he's been special.
He has indeed. Back to the middle we go. To Goey.
Push in the back, St. Kilda.
Steele
Bring it back.
has the free. Jack Steele.
Time back on.
The skipper's got Wanganeen-Milera out wide if he wanted him. Says, no, I'm going to go a bit more direct than that. Give King a chance in the air. Frampton got the spoil on it. Nick Dacos under immediate pressure from Seb Ross. Windhager's been terrific tonight. Lipinski. Crisp had to go wide to find a vacant player. Josh Dacos now needs to be neat with the ball, and he is to Jamie Elliott, right up on the wing. Fragmented play once again. Elliott looking for the longer ball to McInnes. Cordy stands in the way.
Yeah, and it was BT because St Kilda got in so well behind the ball. They had 2 extra players back there, so they couldn't move the ball to Collingwood.
Cordy told to move it. Goes to the wing. Quaynor worked his way off his opponent, Owens. Zig and a zag. Cordy again. Infield to Marshall. This has been a feature. The link up by hand. Windhager, who has absolutely done the number 2 justice tonight, as BT said. Finds Steele.
Outside 5.
Steele takes his time to assess.
He does indeed.
Stand.
One back in.
Outside
on the logo
5.
here, the Saints trying to press it forward. They go a bit longer here through Windhager. King's got a good opportunity. Moore arrived late. Now Owen. Little handball wide. Here he is. Henry for his second in a row. Misses. Aaron, any ideas on what Collingwood can do from here? Maybe De Goey can do something.
Well, he's had 12 possessions, BT, but none of them have come in the forward 50, so maybe push him up forward and have him do something up there. Start a spark.
Outside 5.
That's what they need, Aaron. They need a spark. If there is that switch that got talked about during the week, then it needs to be flicked now. The Saints are getting the rub of the green.
Days, we've heard a little bit throughout the week too about this extra weeks at the pre-season that the bottom sides get compared to the top sides. St Kilda only got 2 or 3 weeks more than Collingwood, but you can see them running their legs at the moment.
As Filippo thrusts them forward again, it might go all the way. Filippo kicks the goal. The red, white and black is prominent around the MCG. These vocal Saints fans. Ross Lyon back in charge of finals appearance last year, and hopes high that they can push deeper.
Well, if the question was asked of the champs at 3/4 time, and now has a larger question mark and an exclamation point behind it, the young kids for the Saints, Ross Lyon has to be pumped with them. Windhager's had some moments. Filippo there gets his opportunity. We've seen Henry light it up. Sharman at the other end as well. For the Pies now, not really sure where the magnets get moved. We've seen Jeremy Howe go forward at other stages.
Okay, throwing this one up.
We're told they were stripped it back to basics during the week and tried to come in tonight with that sort of attitude. Doesn't really work for them again as Steele tumbles it inside. No one comes out here to the youngster. Bit of a Hollywood handball from Wilson over the top. Windhager tidies it up now out the back to Hill. Hill quickly inside. Cameron tries to smother the footy. Not sure any of them want it at the moment. High tackle.
Go through. Stand.
question I've got to ask you. Days, Joel, are their bellies full at the moment, the Pies? What do you think?
The way they're playing it certainly looks like it. You touched on the slight advantage that the Saints had an extra couple of weeks. Just outworking them all over the ground, though, and that's more a mindset thing than it is a application to game plan.
Knocked out by Moore. Here's to Goey. Cannot get the ball clear.
And BT, it's a little bit of when you're off, you can make it look really bad too by making bad decisions. We're seeing Collingwood are coming at the footy pretty hard, you know, pushing forward from defence, but yeah, it's not working for him right now.
Gee, Ross is looking relaxed. He's like he's having a chinwag over a coffee at the local cafe at the moment. He's very comfortable.
Are the phones safe tonight?
Quaynor. High kick. Around the southern wing it goes. Cox underneath it, offhand. Sinclair couldn't take it. Mychek did. He's dragged off the footy. Comes back in underneath. Bonner, balks, goes through, cuts a line. Kicks to Sharman over his head. Pendlebury's got to get back. Sharman with a touch more toe. Tries to paddle to his own advantage.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it that we go to Easter Thursday next weekend at the Gabba with the two grand final sides not having won a game between them if things don't work here tonight, Days?
That is incredible. Have a look there. Jack Sinclair back in the game. First for distant covered. We know how good he is at covering the ground. Unbelievable work rate for his first game back. He, as this game goes on, will continue on that Telstra tracker to pump up the case.
McCreary through the middle. Elliott's got a little bit of space here on Stocker. And Jamie Elliott will line up for his third goal tonight.
It's maybe that one with Jack Sinclair too, with them only playing 5 days ago. Maybe he was ready, but they didn't take the risk to make sure he was ready for tonight.
Yeah, playing well. Got the Bombers at Marvel next week. St Kilda. Still 14.5 minutes here. This absolutely has to go through, and it does. So Elliott kicks his third goal. A glimmer of hope. 27 points, 14 minutes.
Well, it's a nice passage of play in the end, almost a kicking hope from side bottom. Well done from McCreary, sensing once that ball had got to him, there was going to be players out. We find out, though, 14 minutes to play, they just don't look like they've got the body language of the side we saw last year when they were in this position. Not falling to their fate. Elliott out of the goal square, but you'd imagine they have to kick the next one pretty quickly if we are to see those tails go up.
Nick Dacos, just 15 possessions tonight. Hasn't had one in the last quarter. Wanganeen-Milera is up to 24 disposals. Gets it back from Steele. Kicks it beautifully to Membry. More the spoil. Coming through Sharman. Somehow to Jones. Jones did well to take it. He's tackled, dispossessed. Punched forward by Maynard. Did very well again, Maynard, to bounce up and smother that kick from Wanganeen-Milera.
Ross Lyon would be delighted with what he's seen from his team, particularly in the second half, and hanging in there, I guess, in the first half was pretty impressive as well. Marshall, Josh Dacos, Mychek does well. High footy. Cox and Cordy. Did well, Cordy. Battle to Bonner. Bonner to Wanganeen-Milera. And down the line to the skipper.
It's just seen a picture that we've seen all night where it gets kicked into Collingwood's forward line, then St Kilda gets so quick, get back so quick to help it out.
Oh, there is so much to like about Owens. Finds Jones, has Hill going by, elects not to give the hand pass. King's a deep target. Marshall wants it short on the lead, and oh, what
What on earth happened there? That was calamitous. Pendlebury to Maynard. Jams it on the boot. Gets it clear to Myercheck. Couldn't mark. McCreary roads it though. Can they get some overlap here? De Goey through the corridor. He's caught! Got the hand pass out late. Phillippo tackled by Mitchell. Bodies fly in. Wilson tackled by McCreary. Umpire will sort things out. This was...
The only thing here is I can imagine that bandage got in his eyes, but it doesn't look like it has.
It's quite humorous watching that one. It caught me off guard. I thought he was just going to lap it up.
Well, Cameron had given up on the chase. He wasn't even trying to affect the spoil.
Ross Lyon saw it hold it for a Marshall. There's an opportunity here for Myercheck.
Open goal square if he's quick enough. This is what the Saints have done so brilliantly. Numbers back. As soon as Collingwood have got any sort of flow in their game, the numbers have gone back. The options have dried up. This is going to require his absolute best from here.
I remind you, to get it to 21 points, Al. And that's the sort of margin where a team can get excited. So St Kilda wouldn't want to think they've wrapped this up right at this moment. They need to play another 5 minutes of strong footy. Myercheck looks a little too far out. Kicking it almost on the edge of the square. In fact, from inside it. Got under it as well. Very high ball. Closing his Cox. There he goes. Bobby Hill gets them within 21. Wow. Bobby just dangles the carrot in front of his teammates here. Still got to almost be perfection. But I'm thinking they think it would be a fun ride if they could make it happen. St Kilda just got to play 3 or 4 minutes of really solid footy here.
The distance is always going to be challenging, and what happened here was the soft drop that helps Collingwood more than anything else, and it was Bobby Hill that gets on the end of it, Days.
3v1 as the ball came in there. The three Saints go up, nobody at ground level. Just goes to show, although it was quite humorous, the hit in the head of Marshall up the other end, what an opportunity that could have been.
This game's still alive. Jones committed down low. Lipinski over his head to Cameron. Clearance, Collingwood bouncing ball. Stocker did superbly off to Wilkie, to Bonner. It's Silver's service on the way out. Wilson hit on the chest.
Outside 5.
There's been some composure with their kicking out of the back half, the Saints. Windhager.
Outside 5. Play on.
He chips it. Just the required to Bonner.
Stand, play on.
And he thread another pass here. Great smother on the kick. That's the desperation from Nick Dacos. Gets it back. Releases Myercheck. Maybe Hill again. He plays on. Open goal. The game is alive. And the massive Magpie army has awoken at the MCG. They were surely contemplating zip and free, but now they will be feeling very much like victory is still attainable from a side that has had a habit of coming home in cliffhangers.
Joel, as we watch this magnificent smother from Lachie Schultz and then the goal from Bobby Hill, which we know about, I want a thought from you on how important is it to know how to win? I mean, you're an absolute winner. St Kilda right now, how important is that for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, I'll probably look at the other side. Collingwood have this ability that they can flick into a different style of game. They know they need to take the risk, and here they go. How exciting it is when they're just playing frantic footy.
They are indeed. It's a margin of 15 points. Collingwood clear ball in hand here. Cameron in front knocks it out to McCreary. McCreary needs a clean pickup. Got that. Thought about Cameron. Said, nah, I want to give it to a better kicker. Josh Dacos ducks back inside. 55 out. Here's the short ball. Knocked off hands. Umpire calls play on. Elliott kicks. Misses. They are on the march.
So St Kilda got to take some air out of the game. They were trying to do it up the ground. Bonner just got his ball smothered. They were trying to find the shorts in between, take a little bit of time out of the game.
And if you are the Pies now, you're trying to take away any uncontested marks. Keep this ball live. The Saints are feeling the pressure. Got to keep to applying it. Keep that ball inside your forward half.
Sinclair's kick favours Cameron. The spoil from Sharman.
Just play by play, that belief looks like it's coming back. First 2 weeks, void of it. Seemed to be void of confidence. Now the handballs are starting to hit. The kicks going inside forward 50 are starting to bounce the right way. Big questions now asked of the Saints.
Marshall, hands and knees off to Ross.
Holding, St Kilda.
Frampton's given away the free kick. King on the wing.
Slightly lucky not to give away 50 there too, Frampton. Piffed the ball back at King. And some body language to the umpire.
This long ball favours Moore. Higgins used his body well. Wilson caught dispossessed. Ross caught dispossessed. Lipinski caught. Whistle in the pockets. Fans out of their seats.
Next goal is massive. 20 points St Kilda or 8 points Collingwood. Which one will it be? Mitchell hunting the tackle down. Aaron, down to you.
Collingwood bench boys have been up and about, more vocal than they have been all night, so they can see a massive opportunity in front of them right now.
Still lots of time, Aaron, as well. 9.5 minutes. St Kilda free here. Think it'll go to Windhager. In the famous Danny Frawley number 2. Who's Marcus Windhager. Gives it off to Hill. Hill pops it up. Can they pop the balloon here right now? Marshall had it. Lipinski under enormous pressure. McRae got rid of it as quick as he found it. One more would do it for the Saints, you reckon? It'd knock them out, surely. 25 metres in front of St Kilda's goal. Ross, no luck.
And it looks like St Kilda's gone with Zach Jones as a spare defender here. I would even pull him back as they're doing right now. I should be a coach one day, PT.
You should be, Joel.
Not that silly.
I can imagine the heart rates are significantly up now in both the Collingwood dugout with Craig McRae and the coach's box with Ross Lyon.
Third repeat stoppage. Philippo just nicely positioned off the back.
It's Darcy Cameron's boot.
Membry over it. It rumbles free. Knocked by Crisp intelligently to McCreery. Josh Dacos, bouncing ball, coming to meet it. Battle, Mychek with him. Hand pass through the hands of Wilson, socket by Sinclair. Important one to win. Marshall wins a great smother again. Moore, Pendlebury, Mitchell. Here they come. Moore through the back edge of the square and a thumping kick towards Elliott. He punches it on. De Goey's being held. Umpire doesn't pay a free kick. And then he's dragged down strongly. Oh, no. They're about to erupt, the Collingwood fans. Fans of all persuasions engaged.
And that may be the reason why 28-13, the free kick count. That looked like a definite hold. De Goey given no leeway. The arms were around a couple of times. Umpire in a good spot. Didn't put whistle to mouth.
Great discipline in his disappointment not to give away the 50 as well from De Goey.
He's a better man than IBT.
Yeah, and me too. So Wanganeen-Milera just taking some seconds off the clock here, the Saints. Trying to reboot things. Down the line, they are hugging the boundary. King takes the mark. Membry's out the back and got a nice sit here. It's a 2-on-1. Jeremy Howe's got to beat 2. No one looked after Membry. Almost gloved it as well. Moore knocks it to Higgins. It was out of bounds, I reckon. Gee, I thought it was out of bounds. Long kick is a goal. I thought he was out. Umpire said play on. It's a goal. Wowee. That is intriguing. That puts them 20 points up and probably wins the game for them. Jack Higgins, has he saved the day?
Great crumb. Oh, BT, we had a pretty good angle up here. That did look like it may have been out of bounds. The umpire in a perfect spot.
What is it about that pocket and Collingwood fans? They won't forget 1979. I don't think they'll forget 2024 either.
Have a look at the celebration. Arms out. Yes, that is my fourth. Yes, that may be the sealer. Regardless, out of bounds or inbounds, the skill level to execute that under pressure, absolutely incredible.
The Harms and Higgins pocket at the MCG. Windhager. Ross. Playing in front of the biggest crowd he's ever played in front of. 69,517 in at the MCG. It's his 200th game. Owens and Quaynor. Nick Dacos. Got away from a very persistent tackle. Higgins jumped on though. And now they're all a bit fired up.
There it is. Let's have a look at it. Oh, no.
There's two umpires there too. One behind and one in front of the kick. Nobody deciding to intervene.
Goodness gracious me. Saints by 20 points. You would think with 6.5 remaining, that is the goal that is going to do it for them. Ross Lyon's got half a smile. You feel they're nearly there. Marshall into the pocket and just about wasting seconds now for the Saints.
That's the 11th clearance for Rowan Marshall tonight. He's been huge, and he started off at the first 4 of the game.
King tonight with 3 has been terrific. Higgins also. Dacos kicks that one out of bounds on the full, and that'll result in a direct shot at goal for Jack Steele.
And understanding the game here, you'd expect him to go back, take his full 30, knock as much time off the clock as possible, and then potentially look for a little pull kick late. There's a big pocket of space in front of Rowan Marshall. Mason Cox goes to sleep. Just keep your eye on that.
So Clark, Steele now. High footy, Higgins. Little one along the ground, Moore. Crisp. Little handball out the back. Owens. Phillippo.
Everything Collingwood does from here must be done with great haste. Pendlebury side bottom. Confronted by Burns. Oh, danger ball. Owens in front. Cox couldn't take it. Persists. Wilson. Owens. Heard the call. Frampton obviously didn't. He's now tackled by Owens, and the umpires say, well, I'll ball it up.
Interesting with that kick that he took from the boundary. Was the clock supposed to run then, or was it because it was out of bounds on the full? Is it not run because the clock was stationary for the entire time that he took his kick?
Lipinski out the back. Pendlebury emerges again. Bananas it. Elliott read it well but didn't take the mark, and Bonner's in for the Saints. Great tackle by McInnes. He's going nowhere.
Surely as soon as the umpire blows and sets the mark, the clock should start to run. As he gets the clock coming in, the 30 seconds he has to take the shot on goal.
That's what I would have thought, but that's not what happened. Little one here. Inside 50, Quaynor. Able to cut it off. Short ball to Maynard. And I reckon the momentum has been interrupted here cleverly by St.Kilda. And now going to be very, very difficult for Collingwood to get going. Just under 70,000 here tonight. A crowd of 69,500. Deep inside the St Kilda 50. Nick Dacos. Who heard the call. Marshall heard it as well. But they'll be happy with another ball up in their forward half.
Thanks, bro.
Playing Nick Foot. Marshall, terrific again. Maynard, great handball. Lipinski, the side of the boot. Myercheck. Burns. Quick run from Sinclair. Sinclair's got it all to do. Didn't have it. Jack Sinclair, no. Umpire says the other way. It'll go Collingwood's way to McInnes.
Side bottom goes past for a hand pass. Can't see an obvious way forward and then kicks it terribly back infield. Ross soccers Sinclair and side bottom. Sinclair happy to see the boundary.
Side bottom had to come back inside again because he looked up and St Kilda were perfectly down the line, had the extra number again.
Some head-scratching moments for Craig McRae tonight again. Marshall and Cox. Lipinski tries to spin through, dispossessed by Ross. To Burns, the milestone men, 200 games and 50 games. Speaking of 50 games, Nick Dacos. Mitchell's dragged off it, play onto advantage. Maynard thumps it long. McInnes loses sight of it, and he's edged out. The mark taken by Stocker. Goes to Wanganeen-Milera, 32 touches for him.
Burns. Collingwood players on the feet on the interchange bench want to get back on the ground.
Play on. You.
Burns. Down the line, big launch there from Sharman. Looked to hurt himself a little. Nick Dacos doubles back, wins the footy, but they've got it all blocked up here, the Saints. This is a big contest in the middle of the ground here. St Kilda win it. Bonner nicely back inside. Memory just to compete with Quaynor did really well. Frampton to Quaynor. Got rid of it before he was tackled. Higgins jumps onto it, gives the handball to Membry. And a free kick will go St Kilda's way, I think, to Jack Higgins.
A chance to kick number 5. It's up rather sore. Even that kick into the middle there, it's been indicative of what the Saints have done all night. They've known where the Pies were going to go. They've known what to take away at the right time.
He has kicked 5 before, but to equal his career high, Jack Higgins around the corner. Didn't get enough bend on it.
More to bring the ball back into play. The Collingwood captain. Right down the middle. Wanganeen-Milera has got the sit. Rises on his teammate Marshall. Didn't mark it. McCreary busts through with strength. Sends the Pies inside 50. The foot race is on. Stocker gets there first. Elliott comes to meet him. He clears out towards Marshall. A bouncing ball. Nick Dacos tried to tap to Howe. Burns, though, took possession. Owens paddles. Lipinski in the road to McRae. McRae feeds forward by hand, is taken down afterwards. Downfield free kick, Collingwood.
Yeah, Lockie Schultz should get this centre forward. Nick Dacos wants it, though. No, it'll go back to Schultz. Lipinski wanting it short. Schultz, nice looking ball there, gives McInnes a chance, and he takes a mark on Sinclair. Bobby Hill says, get up, mate, kick it quick. 2 minutes left. 22-point margin. Around the body he goes, kicks the goal, so Collingwood back within 16 points. You would think far too big a mountain to climb now. What are you thinking about St Kilda at the moment, guys?
I've been impressed by their even contribution. When you look at a Ross Lyon coach side, you know they're going to be honest, you know they're going to bring effort. But the ability of Ross to get the best out of Wanganeen-Milera, 32 disposals, 614 metres gained. Windhager's now up to 24. Owens 22. These kids that he's put faith in over the past couple of years really starting to repay that now. And it's been a coaching masterclass. He's taken away everything that the strengths of Collingwood for the most part of the night. Didn't get worried when they were in that arm wrestle in that second quarter. And from there on, it's been rather impressive to watch.
Cameron knocks it down. Steele cruises through. Caught by Josh Dacos, going nowhere.
And Days, I've just loved how they've owned the big stage too. These players haven't been overawed at all.
Lipinski. Maynard. Out of the middle, high ball, Myercheck. Off hands Ross. Dribbles the ball out to Wilds towards the Shane Warne stand. Moore able to get on the end of it over bounds, over the line out of bounds. 1 minute 28 remaining. St Kilda by 16 points.
Darcy, you up? Here we go, guys.
Ross Lyon looking rather satisfied.
Near on Schmug.
And why wouldn't he be? He has been, and his team, ultra impressive tonight. Been a game of momentum swings. And in the end, the Saints have done the better job. High ball inside Collingwood's 50. Myercheck able to get rid of it. On the head of DeGoey, out the back. Bobby Hill's there. Stocker's got it all to do as it Burns. It's ladder Burns.
Another week when Collingwood will be very much in the spotlight after their glorious run to a premiership last year. Zipping 2, that the spotlight came on. Is it justified? Zipping 3. It's a fair way back to start the season. Saints fans are enamoured with what their team has been able to produce tonight. Cameron paid the mark in the pack.
Darcy, stand Mitch. Play on.
Maynard loads up long. Howe's got a run and a jump at this. Couldn't take it. Elliott goes through. Burns latches onto him. Ball dislodged. Sharman to Brad Hill. Back to half-back. King flies and marks.
Stand.
Max King. Done a good job tonight. Saints are going to win it. The reigning premiers haven't been 0-3 since 1999. And both grand finalists will go into next week's Thursday Easter Gabba game without a win between them. The Saints have beaten the Pies by 15 points. It's a massive win for the St Kilda Football Club, isn't it?
What a big night when they honoured a former captain. A night when Collingwood was unable again to flip that switch.
You wonder how you get out of this sort of rut. Their next game is Brisbane, who are a really good side as well. It's pretty amazing the situation they find themselves in, that is for sure. Let's get downstairs. Erin is down there with Brad Hill, and take it away, Erin.
Thanks, BT. Hilly, how was that? You just beat the reigning premiers, put them 0-3.
Yeah, no, it was an unreal night. Last week we were a little bit disappointed in our first half, but we thought we fought strong, and I thought tonight, the effort was unreal. And, likes to see these young boys like Naz and Machito, and these boys coming through. It's really team effort tonight, and it's good to get the win over the Pies.
Talk about Naz, 32 possessions, not a bad night for him.
Yeah, he's pretty silky. He's got the Wanganeen genes there, so yeah, he's grown into a really good player, and I love watching him grow.
Naz, fantastic game from you. How did it feel to be out there and beat the reigning premiers?
No, it was unreal. We obviously came off a disappointing week last week, and yeah, our effort was there, but our system wasn't, and we made a big focus to bring our system to life tonight, and I thought we really dug in and got the job done.
There's a lot of belief in this team. Can you feel there's something special about this St Kilda team?
Yeah, definitely. We all build into. It's all process driven at the Saints, and we've got a young group here, and yeah, loving all of it, and yeah, Ross and the coaches are some real coaching line, and yeah, they make it so much easier for us.
Well done, great game, both of you. Have a good night. Yeah. Enjoy the win.
Well done down there, Erin. And to those two boys who had tremendous games as well. Geez, good kick. Wanganeen-Milera, isn't he?
Beautiful. And you can see how often they try and get it in his hands, those valuable commodities off half-back.
Back to Erin. I think Scott Seb Ross and
Thanks,
the
boys.
captain.
Yep, got Seb and the captain with me. Seb, congratulations, 200 games. Pretty big stage to win on your 200th.
I know. I just said to young Darcy Wilson, there's nothing better than winning on the G. We don't get to play here too often, and historically, we haven't done too well in milestone games. So the boys pulled through today, and we got our season off to the right start.
This is the biggest crowd you've ever won in front of.
Yeah, how many was here?
I think just under, what was it, 80,000? 69.5. There you go. Just got official confirmation. But there's genuine belief, just speaking to the boys before, there's genuine belief in this St Kilda team that you've got what it takes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think last week we probably lowered our colours a bit. It didn't look like our footy last week. So this week we just really focused on us and buttoning down on our system and the way we play. And I think we showed it to the Saints fans tonight.
Jack, we spoke before. Very, very special night tonight for your football club as well, and to get the win as well.
Yeah, it's very special to have so many people here. Such a special game for us and our club. It was just great to win. So yeah, walk away with 4 points and I suppose first one for the year. So we've got to enjoy it.
Talk about your young players, Nasira in particular. He had a fantastic night, 32 possessions, but he was just everywhere, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been great for us the last couple of years. He's just given us some great use off half back, and he's so strong. There's not much of him. He's very thin, but he's a hard kid. So we love the way he goes about it. So it's great.
And Seb's 200th game, pretty good to win for your mate.
Yeah, exactly. It's always good to play well in a milestone game, and he did well tonight. So
well done, boys. Go and enjoy it.
What a win by the St Kilda Football Club, and it's left the reigning premiers reeling at 0-3 to begin their season. The fallout from this game will be dissected heavily over the next few days, you suspect. But for now, let's celebrate the Saints, Joey, on what was a marvellous win, a really smart and tactical win.
Yeah, it was a professional win too. Really, they were in control for the majority of the game, and every time Collingwood made their runs, whether it was at the start or through that second quarter and even a little bit in the fourth quarter, St Kilda always found a way to respond. Ross Lyon, his coaching tactics to understand what the game was doing at half-time and make the necessary adjustments to allow St Kilda to have that 5-goal-to-1 third quarter, I thought was excellent. Their young players all stood up. I mean, Windhager and Wanganeen-Milera, Owens the second half. Max King again almost ripped it apart. He was still very good. A lot to like, and I thought that the senior players led from the front.
Strong performance from the Saints. I think it just showed that they were prepared to work harder for longer. That their work around the stoppages was great. They worked in numbers, and Collingwood, to be brutally honest, just weren't prepared to put their bodies on the line as much as the St Kilda players were. They wanted it more, and in the end, I think the margin probably flatters Collingwood.
This is why you get Ross Lyon, because I think within the space of 12 months, St Kilda have become a serious football club again, winning big games. At half-time, as we went to the bounce of the third quarter, so if St Kilda are good enough, they just win this game. And he gave them the plan, he gave them the method, and they just absolutely nailed it in the third quarter, and the belief from there. OK, they got wobbly for 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. They're still learning how to win big games, but this is a significant moment for the St Kilda Footy Club to win a game like this against a high-quality opponent, to really put them on the skids and to show their fans that, hey, there's a reason to come to the footy now, and that they are on the up. I don't know when their next opportunity is. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but it ain't too far away.
Very even performance too, Jace. There were no absolute superstar standouts, but it was an even performance across the board.
It was, yeah. Seb Ross in game number 200 getting chaired off, and he made the comment they haven't traditionally done that well in milestone games, but I think all 23 contributed very well tonight. But you'd go a long way to find a bad player for the Saints. They just played their role. It probably wasn't a game where we had players where you think just stood out above everybody else, but there were some really solid contributors for the Saints.
I mentioned pre-game that there's expectation internally. They were bitterly disappointed with losing to Geelong last week, and there was an air of confidence about them tonight. Even speaking of Ross, there was this inner confidence that, no, we know we can take it up to this team. We know we're good enough. Let's see if they can come with us. Let's see if they can flick the switch and come with us, because we're going to challenge them. That was sort of the vibe and the message coming out, and that's exactly how it panned out.
They've said that a lot in the past, but actually doing it, I think, is a different thing, Joey. I think we've had a couple of false dawns with St Kilda.
Yeah,
we have. I mean, it was only a few years ago under Brett Ratton. Everyone thought, oh, they're coming, you know, they're a couple of players away, that sort of thing. This is different.
I think the group still weren't sure under Ratton. I don't know if they were sure. I reckon with Ross Lyon at the helm.
Re-signed him for a couple of years thinking that he was taking...
Yeah, how sure were they with that?
Yeah, well, at the time, you can argue that 10 weeks later, but at the time, they thought they were on the track to winning finals, big finals games. I think they won a final under Brett. So, but this is different. This is a shared responsibility, Jace. They all contribute.
Yep. They're going to enjoy this, I suspect.
So a win for the Saints in Spud's game. Let's listen to the song. Jack Higgins playing the Stephen Milne role to perfection there, Joey.
It must get passed down to the Rascals. I reckon Jade Gresham had it for a period there as well, so it must be a bit of the small forwards with a bit of cheek and a bit of confidence about themselves. Jace gets to have that honour.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. A good win in